know, it's all that tension.
Dear Lord. Can I have a smaller one? That's fine, yeah.
She's like, more than that. I'm a real man.
I'm like, I haven't eaten in like 4 hours, so.
Didn't capitalize the meal at Panda?
I did, but that was like 4 hours ago.
Oh, for sure. That is the smell.
You're not supposed to smell it.
Don't be dramatic. I'm not a risky person. It's all right.
You're not a real man.
I'm not. You gonna get an Instagram of it? Or?
No, I'm pulling up my bean out.
Okay. Well, cheers.
Okay,
Thanks for driving out.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Days Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
My name is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Alec.
So, why are you here today? And who are you? What do you do? And why did your parents choose the name Sophia?
Is there a meaning behind that?
There is actually. Well, my name is actually Sophia Emily. But
Is it hyphenated?
No. It's just...
Like one word?
Well, it depends what you look at. Wait,
I'm looking at the name.
I think...
Is there a space in between?
Yeah, I think so. On my driver's license, yes.
Do you have a middle name?
I do. It's Marie. So Sophia Emily, because this is the story.
I'm already confused. I feel like...
It's, so my dad, he had to take care of my 4 older brothers when I was born. And they were, like, sick, so they couldn't come to the hospital. And he wanted my first name to be Sophia. My mom wanted my first name to be Emily. So
they rock, paper, scissors.
No, she was just kind of like, well, you're not at the hospital, so...
Really? Your mom was just like, sorry, bitch.
Yeah, so
sorry,
that's
bro.
like where the savagery started in my life.
Damn, and they're still happily married?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
They're married for sure.
I made that
weird. they're married for sure. Yeah, they're pretty happy.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool.
So that's
I'm glad
my
I could just rip the Band-Aid off. Get the weird shit out of the way.
Exactly.
Today we're drinking Stella.
Stella Artois. Why are we drinking Stella?
Because it's my favorite.
And you're pretty new to drinking, right?
Legally, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just turned 21. Like
1 second, man.
That's a safe statement to say.
Go ahead. You just turned 21.
Yeah. Well, I've drank before in like Ecuador where it's legal.
Sure. Well,
but,
allegedly, yeah.
Did you also have sex with a 16-year-old?
No.
It's legal.
That's legal.
Well, yeah, no. But yeah, I am pretty new. I turned 21 in November, so it was definitely not like the 21st birthday I imagined, but...
Not with COVID.
Yeah, dude, like no bars were open. Like at the time of my birthday, there was like no... Well, there was outdoor dining, but like no bars were open, so it was like definitely not what I imagined.
Yeah.
But I still got to go out to like an outdoor restaurant, which was cool, but... When this is over, I'm definitely going to hit a bar.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Josh, do you want to read your fact of the day now?
Today's 2DDB FFOTD, the fun fact of the day, the bean out of the butthole.
The butthole.
Is that a snowflake can take up to an hour to fall from the cloud to the surface of the earth.
Wow. That's actually really interesting.
Now you know.
Sometimes the bean outs are pretty good. Sometimes they're
There's
shit.
only been like one bad one, and you just skipped it.
Probably. I barely remember yesterday.
Same. I can't believe I was on the way down here and I was like, I fucking need a vacation from this. And I was like, when's the last... Oh shit, we did a fucking show yesterday. There's a show posted today. People watching the show today. We got you in on the schedule.
Oh, that's very sweet.
So
I appreciate it.
We wanted to work around you because I've got something coming up next weekend, but it just ended up working out this way, the best. So
yeah,
here we are.
I'll make sacrifices for the show.
We all got to do it. And I guess we're just gonna skip the cheers. So.
Oh wait, cheers.
Cheers.
Hey.
Cheers.
My job is to drink.
Mm-hmm.
I want that to be my job.
Become a regular guest.
All right.
Start a rival show.
Okay.
We will take you down.
I probably would take you down.
Unless you did the dogs idea that you talked about earlier.
I'm going to do the
like,
dogs idea.
The dogs drink the beer.
My dogs actually enjoy drinking beer. So
yeah.
What do you give your dogs? Like,
well, it's not that I give them, but like if I have a beer, they enjoy licking it and drink and trying to drink it.
You wake up for like a glass of water at 3 a.m. Your dog's in the fridge. It's like, oh shit.
Yep. If she had thumbs, she would definitely open it herself, but just gotta wait for me to do it. Unfortunately.
She wakes you up. She's got like the bottle in her mouth. She's like, come on, man.
Bring it.
I'm itching. Right here, I'm itching.
Give me beer. Yeah, Scout is definitely a beer fanatic.
Scout, you got Scout and Kukla.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Those are your dogs.
What kind of dogs are they?
Scout it's called a hanging tree. It's like a mix between a border collie, an Australian cattle dog, a blue heeler, and like something else. So she's like a purebred cattle dog. And then Kukla is just purebred border collie. So my family is fans of the border collies.
Into the sheep in business, huh?
We don't even own sheep yet.
Yet.
After these dogs, like I feel like we should own sheep now.
You should have like an acre of property at least.
I know.
Those dogs. Those dogs are the coolest dogs.
They go insane. Yeah. I have to take them like out like 3 to 4 times a day.
Well, they just got a bunch of energy.
Insane. Yeah.
They are pretty active dogs.
They are extremely active dogs. Yeah. If I don't take them out, they like just...
It was coming off.
Run in circles all day. Nonstop.
You still got them to do all those tricks that jump on your back and stuff, and
yeah,
you got to do a dog show, man. That's what you should do. Let's just start brainstorming podcast ideas for you. So if you could do like Twitch or anything like live streaming, you'd have to include the dogs.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's just you training your dogs.
Yeah, dude. You know, like, have you ever seen dog yoga?
I've seen goat yoga.
Yeah.
No, okay, but have you seen dog yoga?
No,
like
I haven't.
doga, where they like
they call it doga?
The dog like actually does yoga with you.
No, I haven't seen that.
You seen it?
I think I have.
Okay. Well,
it might have been something else. I think there were just dogs there. It was like regular yoga and there's dogs.
No. But like, you've never seen people like do yoga with their dogs?
No.
Okay, that's like a thing
like,
that I would want to do.
Is it like trained dogs, or do the dogs just catch on? They're just like,
well, I'm sure
you're doing the downward dog.
No, I think like you have to train the dog to like be able to do the yoga. Like they don't catch on like that. Like, but I want to like if that were to be like my Twitch or like my show, it would be me training my dogs to do yoga.
That would be it. I think that's
a different pose, a show.
Right? Yeah, just work on a show.
Yeah,
we're gonna pose a show.
Okay. Sounds good.
We laid the floor.
Yeah.
Now you have to build the foundation.
Okay. Yeah. Now you have to do all the work. We'll take all the credit when you get big.
Perfect.
And yeah. Brought to you by Tutti Drinking Beer. Sophia, Emily.
Great.
So what do you like to do?
It's
an easy question.
I like...
No, it's not.
It can be.
All right.
I like to go to the beach. I like to work out. I like to sleep and eat. Yeah, that's pretty much. I work out like on my free time and I read. And that's pretty much it.
What do you like to read? What kind of books? Or like magazines?
What are you reading right now?
Right now I'm actually reading, it's called I think it's called Until I Darken or something like that.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's like about like the medieval times when there was like kings and queens and like stuff like that. And I've already read the book, but it's basically about like this girl and like her dad only wanted her born because he wanted to just like marry her off and like get profit from it. And the nurse who like birthed her wished that she would be like the ugliest kid that was ever born, and like she would just be like a complete disaster, and the wish actually like came true. And so it's just like about like her, the
ugly duckling in the kingdom kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And she has like a brother who's like born after her, who's like really like a good looking attractive like kid, but he's like totally like feminine, and like, you know, back then that was like really looked down upon for like a guy to be feminine, especially like of royalty.
Did the nurse have anything to do with that? So like, I wish this one's ugly. I wish this one's gay.
Well, I mean, yeah, no.
Down with the royal bloodline.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, but yeah, that's just like basically, and it's just like goes through like her life and like everything, like growing up and stuff. So yeah, that's the book I'm reading now.
You said you've already read it though?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people who could read a book a second time and still enjoy it?
Yes, if it's not right away. I think it's been a couple of years since I read this book. So, like, some parts I remember, some parts I don't. So, I'm definitely not, like, a bitch who could just, like, read a book over and over again.
I am not that bitch.
I am not that bitch.
Yeah.
I am a bitch, but not that bitch.
Are you the bitch?
I am the bitch.
You're the bitch.
But not that bitch. Yeah. Do you read books?
I do.
I'm illiterate, so...
I am not surprised.
Burn.
Ouch, okay.
She said, "It's nice to meet you, you fucking idiot."
You fucking loser.
I made it this far in life.
Well, look at you.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you just immediately like you pull out the knife and you're just like,
oh, fuck you.
You're an idiot.
I waited until he thought I was nice.
I know. And now look, you've pushed him to the brink of drinking. He's on his second one already.
The person who I see likes all the stuff on social media.
I know. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Sophie told me she's like an avid listener, and we've been good friends since Panda Express, so
yeah.
I knew she had to be on the podcast. I regularly send her dog memes, and she sends me them back, and that's been our friendship.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I think we send memes every single day. I don't think
every day for sure.
I don't think there's been a single day that we haven't sent memes to each other.
Not since I've quit.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I don't think it's. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I quit Panda, and we're like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Just,
we're like,
here's a black Labrador jumping through a hula hoop. How's your day going?
Yeah, like maybe once a month we ask each other like, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
The rest of the time it's just like memes.
Yeah, basically.
It was like, "LOL, that was really good."
Yeah.
Top tier.
Yeah. You send me like 5 good doggo memes.
Then I get a response.
Then you get a response. Those are good. Keep them coming.
Yep. You're like, yep, more of those today.
But yeah, right now I'm reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Never heard of that.
It's a book written by Sun Tzu.
Nice.
He's a Chinese general.
Wow.
And the coolest thing I've read so far is actually in the preface of the book. It talks about Sun Tzu getting his start as a general. Mm-hmm. Before he was a general, he was just in the military, and he was in charge of like platoons, but he wasn't a high-ranking like dude yet.
Okay.
And the king was like, "Hey, I need you to train some troops. You seem like you have a really good tactical mind." And he's like, "I could train any troop you want." And the king mockingly goes, "Can you train women?" And Sun Tzu goes, "I could train whoever you want." And he's like, "All right, well, if you could train 100 women to march, I'll make you a general." And he's like, "I'll have it done before sun sets."
Wow. And
they have 100 women line up, and he has 2 of the king's concubines, and he takes them and he puts them in the front of the line. He's like, "You're a leader of this half, you're the leader of this half." And he says, "About face," and they start giggling. And he's like, "About face means to turn around. I'm sorry if it's not clear. That's on me. I'm in charge." And he goes back and he goes, "About face," and they start giggling again. And he's like, to the 2 concubines, he's like, "You guys are in charge of these people. Make sure they turn around." And they start giggling. And he's like, if the general states his orders and they are clear and they are not followed, it is not the general's fault. It is the incapability of the soldiers. And he goes, "For the last time, about face," and everyone starts laughing. And he takes the 2 concubines that the king likes, and he's like, "You and you, stockades." And he beheads them.
Damn.
And the king was like, "Okay, you made your point. Like, these are my 2 favorite concubines. Don't kill them. Like, you can have the general position." He's like, "Sorry, sir, but like, if you want me to be the general, I will make sure any job you tell me to do gets handled. Gets done. I will see this through to the end."
I'm a fucking overachiever.
Yeah, and the king's like, "I don't want to piss this guy off anymore," so he lets him kill those 2 concubines, and then he chooses 2 random people. He's like, you're the new leaders. About face." and everyone goes, "Phoom." No more laughing, no more giggling.
You gotta make that example.
It
out
was
of
within
people.
Fuck yeah.
it was
dude.
within 2 hours he made that happen.
Damn.
And he was like, these people would walk through fire for you. He's like, they would go through hell. They would lay their head on the line for you now. I promise. You tell them to march into the ocean and drown, they'll ask you what part.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wherever you want, these people will go for you now. And he became the general, and he went on to win a bunch of battles and lead like a historical lineage of like tactics and strategies, and he wrote them all down. And it's genius.
Do you know what era that's from? Like what time period?
Not off the top of my head. I want to say 1800s, but it was like, it's
I believe it.
It was the turn of one of the dynasties. There was the Yang dynasty, the Shu dynasty,
Ming
dynasty. It was around after that. Would you like to share at the class?
You're just like, what?
Oh, yeah, I burp. We're drinking Stella.
No, it's just funny.
Stella
It's
is a
just
very
funny.
burpy beer.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a very light beer.
You gotta. I can't believe. It blows my mind that you're 21. You've never been to a bar ever?
No. Well, no.
Think about it carefully.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's something you gotta like. I feel like it's something you just know, right?
No.
Like if you haven't
Well, I mean,
been.
like I've been to a bar, but like obviously I haven't been to a bar like drinking. You know, like I've gone like with people.
You walk through the Applebee's, and there's
Exactly.
like a bar at the Apple
Yes.
Bar and
yeah,
grill.
and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I can't look.
Oh my god, I can't look.
Like this should be illegal.
I feel the same way walking past the Victoria's Secret.
You
Yes.
should. As you should.
I can't look.
As you should.
Panties. It's a sin.
I've never seen those before in my life.
Never, not once.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know.
Saving my self-marriage.
Society's weird like that.
You know, that's actually founded by a man.
Victoria's Secret?
Yeah.
Victor's Secret.
Of course it was, dude.
It was.
Of course it was.
It was actually, excuse me. It was actually a millionaire. He was trying to buy some lingerie for his wife, but he didn't want to be embarrassed to go out in public and buy lingerie for her.
So he's like,
So he opened up a store,
buy my own.
called it, Victoria's Secret, and then everyone just sold him lingerie, and then he just picked from that and then sold the rest.
So that's the secret.
That's the secret.
Wow. You literally just, like,
If you don't want to have your whole world crumble in front of you, don't watch this episode
Dude.
because the secret's been ruined.
you need to warn people before this.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this
I'm
is a
telling you how
serious-
to,
The warning comes after.
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm telling you how to intimidate 100 women to die for a king, and then how to buy lingerie for your wife.
Take notes.
Just buy her a whole lingerie line.
Yeah, just start a whole company. You want to get your wife a car?
Easy.
Create a new company.
We went to the fucking one bitch in high school who made that very successful bikini line.
I don't know.
Frankie's Bikinis.
Wait, you went to high school with her?
Yeah, she went to Westlake with us.
Are you serious?
Yeah. See, she
Dude.
knows what's up.
Who's Frankie's Bikinis?
You've never seen Frankie's Bikinis?
He
Oh my
probably
god, it's
hasn't,
like, yeah, you probably have. You just don't admit it.
I think
Yeah,
she
I
was
see that.
she was either in your year or my year, but
Damn, dude.
she was a fashion designer and she made a really successful bikini.
What's her
line.
name?
Oh, dude, like
Francesca.
her bikinis go
I
for
do know
like
her.
$90 just for like a top.
How did she get her start? Did she just go to school?
I have no idea.
I mean Westlake, so she probably got
At
daddy's
Westlake.
money or something.
Well, at Westlake, there was a huge push for like, there was like a huge art school. It wasn't like, we got like people all the time from like Full Sail and places like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the SDSU or whatever, the DSU, there was like a school.
FIT'em.
FIT'em.
Oh, uh-huh.
They specialized in like, that was like the most sincere sounding.
It's a fashion. It's cool.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
go on.
Stop that.
Yeah, it was like a recruiting thing for like just like trade schools of how to be like a fashion designer, and a lot of people wanted to do that.
Mhm.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
I've heard
she
about it.
did the FIT'em program or whatever.
Maybe. Be
That's like
interesting
crazy.
to know.
Francesca, I can't say that last name. It's Aiello. That's what it looks
Yellow,
like.
right?
Yeah.
Her
Right.
bikinis are really nice.
Yeah,
though.
yellow.
They're not bad.
Like they're good
Do you
quality.
know her?
Like know her, or just like know up? Like
Know of.
I'm
not-
pretty sure we rode the bus together.
Damn.
She went to school with us.
which is weird
Wow,
to
you
say.
guys are almost famous. Like,
Almost.
pretty much.
We're so close.
We're halfway. We've interacted with many famous people.
We have.
I
Without
feel like
even
going to
knowing it.
Westlake, like, it's kind of bound to happen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. I mean, I feel like it's definitely the privileged side of being like just in California.
Mm-hmm.
Like one person I work with all the time, Lyndon. We went to some house to do some like karaoke thing,
Yeah.
and we ended up talking with the neighbors, and he's like he's like an actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he does like small performances in his free time.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over to me and he's like freaking out. And I'm like just drinking a beer with him, like the host and the neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, what is with you? And he's like, that guy over there wrote Oklahoma. And for those who don't know, Oklahoma is like a Broadway play.
Oh, okay.
It's also a state.
So we were just,
Nice.
it so is. So one night we were just drinking beer
I'm
with
smart.
like the guy who wrote Oklahoma with some like really high class like X-ray tech for like
Wow.
celebrities.
That's crazy.
And then the audio engineer who was also helping run the show, he like did tours with like the Beatles and
Dude.
Chili Peppers and like all these crazy like big bands. He did the audio for them, and I got
That's
to meet
crazy.
those guys.
That's crazy, dude.
And it was like just being in the same room with people like that is like, I mean that's the key. You
yeah,
know?
dude, because like literally life is all about just like making connections with people, and like it's who you know, like
Mhm.
to get places in life, it's just who you know.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
that is something that I think I've learned like in the past couple of years. It's just you have to know people to get places.
And that's the crazy thing too. Like I've met so many people with like misconceptions of it too, right? Like a lot of the audio engineers I follow online, they're always like super laid back, super cool. And I was always striving to be like that guy. I was like, man, in the studio, just be like the friendliest, coolest dude. And they're like, can you do this? Be like, yeah, man, I got it. Like, whatever. Like, have that kind of approach.
Guy.
You have to be, right? And then you meet some people who like come from money and their dad's like a lawyer or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they have the opposite interpretation of I've got to strong arm everybody. I got to be, the loudest, the smartest,
Of course. They have
And
to prove themselves.
and it's one of those things like it backfires because it's like it's not sustainable basically. But when you meet people who are like the audio engineer or the writer of the Oklahoma, we were just sitting down having a beer, kind of like this. It's just like we're just hanging out, having a beer,
Just
and
a couple dudes drinking beer.
Yeah, and we're just hanging out. Like, really, people just want to work with people who they enjoy the presence of.
Yeah.
And if you can't learn to, like, not be a dick, then you're not going to really get the chance to even be, like, empowered to enforce,
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah.
Like, the people who, like, I know whose, like, dads are lawyers and they're, like, always, like, coming from money and, like, flexing or whatever. It's like they don't even understand what their parents had to do to get that power in the first place.
Exactly.
They're just trying to execute the power, and it's
Yeah.
like it gets this weird kind of space of people being like, I don't want to hang out with them. I'd rather work with these guys. So,
Well, I definitely think you're a chill guy.
thanks,
You're
man.
very chill.
Oh, I try to be chill. I mean,
Like the chillest.
Sometimes.
am I the chillest
Right now.
right
You're
now?
the chillest.
Not at Panda. I was a rude asshole at Panda.
It was a love-hate relationship.
Well,
Whenever you have people telling you something to do, you can be abrasive.
that's just
Correct me
kind
if
of
I'm
like
wrong.
that's just kind of coming with the territory, right? If like someone puts,
Because you're a man.
if I saw a concubine get beheaded,
So that's what I have to do.
and then I was next in line, and they're like, Alec, make sure this rice gets cooked on time. I'm like,
Fuck
Jesus
you.
Christ, Jesus Christ, everyone make the goddamn rice faster. My head's on the line.
My head.
You're like, it's not my job. Someone else's.
I've never had that attitude.
No, you know what though? I give you props because you taught me like how to do chow mein and how to make teriyaki chicken.
Hell yeah, the
And
best.
I always hear your voice in my head
Hell yeah.
saying like, "Oh,
It's because
like,
you're listening to the podcast while you're at work.
I haven't gotten I haven't gotten anybody sick yet, so I must be doing my job right.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's what I hear in my head every time I'm cooking. I'm like,
Is that what I said?
Yes, that's literally almost word for word what you said. You were like,
I haven't gotten anyone sick yet.
No one's gotten salmonella yet, so I must be doing it right.
I mean, that you know of.
Yeah, but I think I remember it was like I was showing you how to cook, and there was like a little bit of pink, and we were waiting for some teriyaki chicken, and you're like, should we let it go for like 2 more minutes? I was like, it's fine.
Well, that like chicken is weird though. Like sometimes it is pink, and it just stays like that.
Well, it's like marinated in like all the sauce and shit for like however long until we get it. So like
it's
probably
marinated?
stains. Yeah,
Marinated?
It's marinated. You know the purple bag you take it out of?
Yeah.
It's all marinated. It's like sitting in the juices and shit. So over the course of days.
So then it's not just plain chicken.
No. It's for sure soaked. Like
Such liars.
You know when we move
Insider trade secrets.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, we're gonna get fucking.
Shoot.
I'm gonna get fucking tackled and hunted down.
I'm gonna get fired.
It's all good. You
Okay.
could be the new host on the podcast.
Okay. I'm starting my own show.
Yeah, that's true. But when we move it from the freezer to the fridge and it thaws out, you know, it takes like a week sometimes.
Yeah.
Basically, while it thaws out, it just kind of sits in its own marinade. Yeah, bro, it's like 45 pounds of chicken.
It's like a shit ton
There's
of
a
chicken.
ton. That's the thing.
Well, that's all you guys have is chicken and like a little bit of beef.
No, we literally have chicken. We have 3 beef products.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of beef.
Like, we don't even have like tofu anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's
took
you
the
guys had
tofu off the
tofu?
menu. We did.
It
For a short
depends,
period of time. Our store.
Was it like a limited thing?
It was like, I think it was like one of their like,
Can I get another one?
Yeah.
like their special, you know, like limited edition, and then people liked it, so they kept it at some stores, but they didn't keep it at other stores. So our store was like the only one that had it in like a 20-mile radius.
You know what the best part is? You know how I was kind of like Panda's little whore? I was like jumping between store to store. I went to the one in Westlake one day, and I saw this dude. He was like 4'2" and like 300 pounds, and he's just like, "Can I get the tofu chicken or you know?" I was like, it was like tofu cubes or whatever. Like we got. He's like, "Can I get the tofu?" And we're like, "Oh, sorry, sir. Like we don't actually have the tofu anymore." And he goes, and he starts like screaming over tofu, and I was like, "Dude, do I ever want to be the person who screams about tofu?"
Dude, you like have no idea. Like, you're so lucky that you are not
Got the
working
fuck out of
with-
that life. Yeah. I'm so stoked, especially before Corona. Are you kidding?
Yeah, dude. People,
You
I
guys
feel
are
like
so like crazy.
the level of like stupidity raised like at least 100% since like
Damn.
Corona started.
What's your job at Panda? What do you do?
I do the register.
Don't be modest. You do everything.
Yeah,
You take
I
the
do a
people
little
down
bit
the
of everything.
line?
Yeah, well, right now,
Well,
we
used
actually
to.
are not down the line.
Yeah.
We went back to just having one person in the store at a time. So sometimes I'm on register. Sometimes I'm like running the bags to the customers. Other times I'm just there like scooping the chicken and the rice and everything. Sometimes I make chow mein.
Because I taught you.
Because Alec taught me. I'm learning how to cook like actual entrees now, which is kind of cool.
Cross training is valuable.
It is.
For the company. Make sure you ask for more money.
I know. No, I am. Yeah, I'm getting ready for a promotion. Hopefully.
Good. I've seen a lot of people work for Panda for like a year or two in the kitchen. And they're like, "You're not done with your training." And then one day the guy walked out. And they're like, "Look, what's wrong? Like, we're going to fucking fire you. You just walked out on your job." He's like, "Look, I've been here for a year doing this. You said it's training. It's bullshit. I know how to cook everything. I've been doing it for a year. You guys just don't want to pay me more money." And they gave more money like that.
Yeah. You know, like that was, I haven't run into that issue at Panda, but at my last job at Subway, I definitely ran into that job. Like I was.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit too? Because I remember you told me some crazy stories about how like the team was literally on your back there.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, so Subway is a franchise, so pretty much anybody who has money can run a Subway, and who has like a little bit of, I don't know exactly, but pretty much anyone who has money can just run a Subway. And basically, like I was hired pretty much right away, like I submitted my application and like not even 20 minutes later they like called me,
which is a bad sign as it turns out.
Yeah. But like I was young and I just like was like whatever, you know. I was like really,
it's a job.
I was excited. Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
they
like,
picked me.
Yeah,
I win.
Exactly.
I'm the best one out of all of them.
Exactly. And I was like, wow, like that's really crazy, you know. But it turned out like they didn't really care. Like they were just really desperate for people, which obviously I can see that now.
Just to have a staff.
Yeah. And so like this husband and wife, they ran the Subway, and I was making $11.25 the whole time I was working there. And basically I was running the entire store. I would write schedules. I would like run the store, you know, like I would just run the store every time I was there. I would work like 30-hour weeks. And he kept telling me like, oh yeah, like you're the shift lead. And I was like, okay, well.
But you never had the official title.
Yeah, exactly.
Been there. I've been there.
Exactly. And then he would keep telling me like, oh, you need to like, there's like this Subway University. Like
McDonald's University.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
Like all the fast food like chains have them. But he kept telling me like, oh, you have to take the classes. Well, he had to register me in the classes for me to be able to take them. Well, who was the one registering myself for the class? Me. And so like I was doing his job. Like I had like the code to the safe. I had like everything. I would close every single night pretty much, like 6 days a week I would close. Yeah, pretty much. Like I would make orders. I would take inventory. Everything. And I was making $11.25. So
without even the job title.
Yeah, exactly. So I started looking for a new job because I was like, okay, I like need to start making more money. Like I was like about to be 19 years old and I was like, okay, I need to start making more money. So I had a friend that worked at Panda, so she like told me, and then when I told them like, okay, I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in, and he's like, oh, I can pay you $11.75 instead, like I'll pay you more money, like $11.75,
which is like the biggest fuck you.
And I was just like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like Panda is offering me, at the time their starting was like, it was like $14.50 or something like that.
It was a lot.
And I was like, dude, that's like $3 fucking more than I'm gonna be making right now, and you're offering me a 50-cent increase. Like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And I just like quit. And like, yeah, they were pretty fucked, like, because literally like I was making their schedules, I was taking their inventory, like I was doing everything for them. And I was just like, fuck you. And I left and I got the job at Panda, and
haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I'm just like, and still to this day, like he'll call, like the owner of that Subway, like he'll call me just like randomly.
He's like, hey, Sophie.
He used to, dude, like low key, he would like sexually harass me. Like he would like, we would go to make the schedules and he would like sit next to me and like he would be like, oh, ha ha ha, like ha ha. And like, what the fuck? Like, don't like get the fuck off my leg, you fucking weirdo.
You're like, I'm gonna schedule this person from 12 to 4, give them a 4-hour shift. They're like, ha, you're so funny.
Literally.
You're so funny, Sophie.
Literally.
You're so funny, Sophie.
Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I was pretty much just like, okay,
when she's not funny, but you're trying to smash.
He would basically I would write in my schedule first, and then he would be like, oh, like da 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 da, and I'm like, no. And he'd be like, oh, okay. And then like I'd just be like, okay, and then just like write the schedule for everybody else. Everyone would like work around my schedule, and I was like, well, fuck you. If you make me write the schedule, then everyone's working around
I'm in charge
me.
of it, yeah.
Like I don't give a shit. So
that's hilarious.
And apparently like after I quit, they like were doing really bad, and they owned not only the Subway in Moore Park, but they also owned a Subway in Simi Valley, and they had to like sell that Subway, and like some of the workers would come into Panda and they'd be like, oh my god, it's so much better now, like they don't own it, it's awesome, like, you know, they do all this stuff for us. And I was like, damn,
that's one of the big downsides of working for a franchise compared to like a corporate location.
It's crazy.
I was gonna say, do you want to tell them about
crazy.
McDonald's? Or
I mean, even then, like, our McDonald's wasn't that bad as a franchise, but I don't know how it was compared to a corporate store.
Is McDonald's
Corporate stores run so tight. Good.
Is McDonald's like family owned or like?
It's a franchise.
It's a franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah.
At ours, it was owned by someone who I don't want to say the name from because she's a bitch and she'll probably sue me. But basically, if you worked, we'd abuse the hours worked all the time, right? So basically, it'd be like, hey, work this shift, and you know how at Panda they take it very seriously. They're like, hey, you need to take a break before this time.
Yes. Yeah. Very strict.
Panda's like very strict. Like that's what a corporate store is. Our store was a corporate store. A franchise store is
it's like what Subway was. Like any fucking
they're like
Joe Schmo off the road can own one.
if you work for 5 hours and you don't take a break, we don't care. But sign this paper.
Yeah, that says that you
saying that you forgot to clock in and out for your break.
We'll edit your times. We won't give you your check until you sign the paper.
Yeah.
And that's what this person did who owned the store, and they owned a ton of stores in TO.
Wow.
They made a ton of money, and they wouldn't pay you your check until you signed the paper
cunts,
because the check was already modified. They already modified everything. So they said you get your check, and they're like, hey, the 2 weeks that we modified, it's already been modified. So we can't.
You're like, so
you're for sure not getting paid on this check what you're getting paid. But you have to approve the changes that we made if you want to get paid.
Up, dude.
They got caught. And she only has one store now.
I'm surprised that they're even allowed to own any fucking stores after that.
Well, she had 11 stores. The thing was, there's a lawsuit. She had to pay everything.
I thought she only had 5.
She had more. It was like a ton.
Because there was the Moore Park one. That one closed by the school.
Yeah, that one closed.
The DMV one.
Oh.
Moore Park Jams.
The one by the college?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We used to work for that owner.
Really?
The person who owned that one.
Damn. I remember when that closed.
And, okay, maybe it wasn't 11, but she owned a lot. I think it was like 7. Or like,
something like that.
Or like a million.
She owned a lot of McDonald's.
They're all like right next to each other, too.
And they're all closed down now except one.
That's crazy.
The one that we were at.
Yeah, and it's
the
because...
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because they had to close down all the locations to basically pay a lawsuit.
That's
because the corporation sued her.
Yeah.
It wasn't any of the employees, ironically. It was the corporation being like, yo.
That like sounds like something that was starting to happen at Subway. Because like they were really weird about their breaks. Like even if you didn't work 6 hours, they would still force you to take a 30-minute break. And like it was really weird. Like
that's the corporate side.
That's an extra 30 minutes you don't have to pay your worker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They
were save half an hour of money.
They were seriously cheap as shit, dude. Like they would be watching me. Like they had cameras in the store, like literally everywhere in the store they had cameras. So don't try and rob Subway.
But
and
if
they
I was
watched
you,
them from their phone. No, yeah.
Because even though
I'm
they
not
have
gonna
the
say
evidence,
it on here, I'm gonna get arrested.
Sure. Okay.
But no. Like they would watch me on their phone, and I think the store closed at 9:30. Okay, the second worker would leave at 8:00. So then it would just be me by myself there until closing, and then I'd have to close the store all by myself. They would expect me to have the entire store closed by 10:00. They would sit there and watch me on their phones, and like as soon as it struck 10:00, and if I wasn't like leaving the store, bring, the phone would be ringing.
Really?
And I'd be like, oh my God, dude. Oh, Sophie, why aren't you done yet? Why aren't you done yet? And I'm like, well, because I'm not fucking done. Like, that's why.
Fuck
like,
off.
Why don't you schedule another worker to help me close, bro? Like,
yeah.
How the fuck am I going to be closing an entire store by myself? Like, and the last person left like 2 hours ago. And I'm just, like, I'm here, like, having customers come in right at the last moment, you know? Like, so stupid. Yeah, so I'm really glad I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah. You know what's crazy for me at Panda when it came to closing? It was like at some stores it was like hurry up, go faster, you're too slow. And then other times it was like, why did you leave early?
I remember everyone would always be like, Alec takes so long to close.
Everyone told me I was super slow.
But I'm like, whatever, he does a good job. Like,
yeah, right. I got everything done for tomorrow. But at other stores, like at our store, it was like, you're too slow.
Yeah.
But at other stores, like the one in Simi, they're like, don't leave the store until everyone leaves the store.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, technically,
that's the policy.
Yeah, technically, that's the policy. Is everyone who closes is supposed to leave together.
And that's the thing. And I told my manager, I was like, look, like that's cool and all, but like I'm not going to wait around here if I'm not clocked in. And every time they told me stay, they're like, stay clocked in. Like I was like, there's nothing else for me to clean. Or, like I finished on my job. They're like, that's fine.
Free money.
As long as you don't pass your 6 hours, they don't really care.
And that's the best thing. It's like
because Panda makes a shit ton of money.
They do. They make so much money.
The deeper the wallet that the corporation has, the better it is to work for them.
Yeah, exactly. Like honestly, like obviously, like working in a fast food restaurant is like not ideal, but Panda at least like really takes care of them.
They give a
like,
shit.
They give a shit.
Yeah.
Like they take care of you, like for the most part, you know. Like
there was that class action lawsuit over brakes, but
I've always I've always had the stance of I've had some really shitty managers at Panda Express. Yeah. But overall, as a company, like they're thorough as fuck. Yeah. I mean, even right now during Corona, like one person crazy. In the store.
We got like I don't know if it was an actual certification or if it was just like. You know, like I don't know, just like a word of mouth, like type of thing. But they said that during Corona, we were like the top like one of the top stores that like were performing like cleanliness and like like all the checks and whatever that they were looking for. Like we were like the number one store.
That's the one reason I feel like comfortable like going. I'm not like trying to like advertise this, like, but like the one reason I loved Panda was like I know because of how hard the managers were on me. Like, hey, go do trash, go do lobby, go do this, go do that, and they have that system in place. It's like it's reassuring to me as a guest going back. Exactly. Being like, oh, I know they're clean because like
like they make them do that.
I know them. I know how the managers operate.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like I'm comfortable going there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really good company, I think. Like their intentions are very like pure, versus like a lot of other companies.
Well, that's true. We didn't work for a franchise one though, did we?
No, no Panda is a franchise. All pandas are owned by Peggy and Andrew. Yeah, like which is the family, the husband and wife. It's family owned,
but it is still.
I mean,
is it a corporation? What's the?
Yeah. So basically, like, it's Peggy and Andrew. Let me give you some education.
Educate the people.
I hope my managers watch this. They'd be so proud.
You can send it to them.
Put it on. Put it on when you're closing.
Can this help me get a promotion?
Fuck yeah, it could. Until they see me and they're like, that asshole.
Yeah, they're like, oh, fuck that guy. Nah. So basically, it's Peggy and Andrew, and they're the husband and wife that like started. Panda Express. It was called like Panda Inn or something like that when it was first started.
It was like an actual sit-down restaurant.
Yes, right? And so now basically it's like it's them, and then like there's like you know like the CEO or like the whatever I think
CFO,
right? CFO and like all that stuff.
All the chiefs.
And then there's like the people
what up,
below
Hank?
them.
How you doing, bro? Love you, Hank.
And then there's like. You know, the moms, which is like the multi-unit managers, and then the ACOs, and then, you know, the GMs and the AMs, and then, you know, us. So it's technically family owned. It's just run, you know, like just different areas are run by different people, you know, but it's just like one person that runs like the whole valley region, you know.
It's a big tree.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a tree of rich people.
Right. It's really rich up top and then just
they're like billionaires.
Poor and poor. Are they really?
Yes.
Yeah, they
fuck
are.
Yes, they are, dude. Dude,
you know, huge.
Like they make like I think
we did the math one time, I remember.
Yes, remember? And it was like $1 million something like a week that they make at like through all of their like you know like a bunch of their stores.
Cuz we got the numbers at our store.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm looking at all of these stores.
$3 billion.
$3 billion. God damn.
They have $3 billion.
They're worth $3 billion.
Oh, they're worth $3 billion. Oh yeah, easily, dude. We make at our store at one store per day, we make like $4,000 to $6,000 a day. Yeah, and that's at one store, and they own hundreds of thousands of stores, you know? Like, it's insane.
Mind you, I was working at 4 or 5, jumping around just for hours. And I was like, just times anything our store makes by 5.
Yeah.
Because some stores made more than us, other stores made a little less. But, like, for the most part.
Yeah, like, pretty much the average Panda makes, like, $3,000 to $4,000 a day.
Meanwhile, I'm struggling at a Pizza Rev trying to make $1,100 a day.
Do you want to tell your Pizza Rev story? Because I think she'd relate to that.
I can.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I've worked for a company.
She's like, so.
I gotta take a breath. He got me the job at the Camarillo location when he worked there. Before he worked at Panda.
I'm pretty dope.
Yeah,
He's
he's actually
cool
gotten me. He's gotten me all on my job except for one.
Okay.
2 technically. 1 was from my grandma. Besides the point.
Love that chick.
I talked your grandma into that, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Josh is a really sweet boy. Wouldn't you agree?
So I worked at this restaurant called Pizza Rev. I started out making pizzas, slanging pizzas, you know, just
flipping packs,
hanging out,
rolling
and
dough.
I was like, I started like this hashtag. It was like Josh for shift leader. It was like 2016.
I feel that.
Fast forward a year, Alec's not at my store anymore. He's disappeared from the company. Our friends transferred everywhere. It's just me, and I'm gonna be a shift leader. I'm in training.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
For 1 year.
That's me.
Fast forward.
That's so many people in the world right now, though, too.
I'm going to move out to North Hollywood.
Okay.
I'm still just a regular crew member without the shift leader title. They're like, do you want to work at this store in Studio City? They have no shift leaders, no GM. I'm like, shit.
My time to
Yeah,
shine.
this is
Pass me the ball.
I'll take
Exactly.
it. It took me 2 months to get the actual shift leader title there. So I'm just like this regular crew member, my regular crew member shirt, and be like, hi, guys. I'm your shift leader. Please listen to me. And they're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And then I leave there after a year. I come back here. I lived in
Go
North Hollywood.
fuck yourself.
I lived in North Hollywood for a year. Came back. It was a shithole. Came back here. Worked at the Thousand Oaks location in the mall. And I was still a shift leader. I had my title, my polo, my nice shirt. I ran that store, tip top, tight captainship, best store in the region. You know, we didn't hit our sales goals because nobody goes to the mall anymore.
Yeah.
But I ran a really good store. And there was an assistant manager. There was no GM, of course.
Yeah.
But he didn't do his job, the AM. Of course. So I did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, make me the assistant manager. And they were like, no.
Typically.
And then I was really tight with the district manager and like almost everyone in corporate. I knew them all, and we were super cool because it was kind of everyone grew up there. Like everyone rose up from basically the fucking trenches. So
we saw war together.
And our general manager at the Camarillo location was the district manager for those stores in the Ventura County. And our district manager from those stores became the director of operations for the company.
Oh, okay.
So like we all knew each other. We were all familiar. So when I got to Thousand Oaks, there was a position opening for assistant to the director of operations, a corporate level position.
Oh, shit.
I was like, Matt, you know this is what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
Let me be your assistant.
Yeah.
And another closed.
He said no.
Well, but also, he dragged him on. Like,
Yeah. I gave him an ultimatum of like, I had a really bad guest experience.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I don't want to fucking work here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm giving you 6 months and I'm gone. I give a 6-month notice.
and this
You're
dude,
bold. I would have
know.
been like 2 weeks, bitch.
I told him,
and I'm out.
I was like, don't fall for it, bro. He's like,
they're like, dude, they use that 6 months to find somebody to replace you because they're like, I don't fucking care about you.
They
bro.
waited 1 week until my final day to find someone else.
do you remember when I quit?
Yeah.
I went in. Aw, I miss you guys too, man.
I miss you, dude.
I went in and I was like, hey, to the beautiful manager. What was her name?
Thea.
Thea.
Yes.
Thea, I love you. You're gorgeous. So I went up to her and I was like, hey, just so you know, I probably got this other job going on.
Yeah.
It's not like a sure thing yet, but my training starts next week.
And you didn't want to break her heart.
And well, like we cut onions together, man.
We shed those onion tears together.
I'm not even kidding you. Like we had this whole like bonding moment where she's telling me her life story.
Yeah.
About like how hard her life was growing up, and I was like really like vibing with her,
like,
and I was like,
you.
Basically, I was like, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry, and like I looked forward to like cutting onions and like bonding like to like a human being, right?
Yeah.
And like
because he doesn't do this often.
I don't ever, and this is why I don't. And I told her that, and I was like, so like just so you know, like not next week, but the week after that, like if you could schedule me for like 3 or 4 days,
I remember that.
So I could just like slowly transfer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she was like, sure, no problem. I come to work the next week, and the next week I have like, one fucking day on the schedule.
I remember that. She was so butthurt.
Bro.
Well, she was like, whatever. Like, he's already got another job, so like.
Which is like, what do you mean she was butthurt? Like, I'm butthurt. I was trying to make it easy on you when you asked me.
No, that's okay.
And I was like, dude, like, we
maybe
cut onions together. Maybe she was trying to make
it easier on you.
She didn't. I said training's 2 days a week. I was like, I'm training this day and this day. If I could work every other day, I was basically asking for 2 days off of work from almost full-time schedule.
Yeah.
And she's like, I got you, and gave me 1 day.
She's like, I got you, bro. Like, no worries.
And she was like,
time.
And I asked her, I was like, hey, like, what's going on? And she's like, it's just easier for me. And I was like, okay.
All ties were cut.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, we're breaking up.
Basically, yeah.
We're never cutting onions together, ever.
Ever cutting
your
onions
shit is in the
together.
Box to the left, okay?
Yeah. And that's how it felt, dude. I was like, because she was telling me, like, she's like, yeah, the last store, people just quit with a day's notice, and there's like no self-respect.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, like, I'll be the first person to like quit
like,
and like,
well, I'll respect you.
Be respectful. Like, we've opened up to each other, and like, you told me your life story, and that's cool. And like, I thought we were vibing, and then the next day, she's fucking.
She's like, fuck you.
Cut me off.
Maybe she just didn't.
She set
feel
my closet
the same way that
no,
you
she
felt.
clearly did not feel the same way.
She didn't feel the chemistry in the onions.
No, I should have taken it as a hint though, because I was like crying cutting the onions, and she was just like, "Yeah, these aren't shit."
She's like, "I don't fucking cry."
Didn't shed a tear.
Nah, she's a bad bitch.
Yeah,
I love you. We're still friends.
I'll bet she's cool as fuck, man. But she cut me off, and it like killed me on the inside. So
it's okay. You played it cool.
Luckily, I got the job.
Yeah.
And it ended up being okay. So.
Okay, here's a question for you. Do you miss working? Well, like, you're still working, right? Like, you're still doing some stuff.
Legally speaking, I'm unemployed.
Right.
I do things.
But like,
for
fun. For yourself, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
But like your job, like that you had at the.
Totally.
The comedy.
I told Josh like a week ago I had a dream about like being back at work.
Oh, that's so weird.
And it was enjoyable.
Yeah. Aww.
I was so excited cause like I don't do anything crazy now.
Yeah.
Right? But like when I was working, it was like every day I got to work with a new band.
Yeah, that's
I
really
got to
cool.
work with a new comedian. And it was like that's the coolest shit ever, man.
Totally.
And to have that like just to be able
just
to
like
say
swept under your feet, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, and here's the thing too, like I feel like a little bit kind of like how I felt with Thea, right? Because it was like this job is so cool, and like I'll do anything for this job, right? Because I love this job. Like fun fact, like real quick, like one manager, I think I've told this story before, but one manager tried to snake me out of all my overtime one time.
Yep, we won't name names.
Yeah, but they did the same thing at Copper Blues.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember you told me about that.
But at Copper Blues, HR called me and was like, hey, I think a manager is trying to snake you from some hours.
You're like,
And I was like...
I think so.
And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And they just asked me to tell the story, and they're like, that lines up. And I was like, do you want another one? Yeah, it's a party. And I was like, damn, like... That was the first time I've ever felt the company like actually like try to protect me. Like at the end of the day, I know they're trying. I know at the end of the day they're like really protecting themselves only.
Yeah,
because it's like
same time,
protecting themselves from a lawsuit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I got reimbursed all my money.
That's
so like I was stoked.
Yeah.
That situation got handled, and then at the end of the day, it was like pandemic. Like we got to let you go. And they told me, they're like, we'll only be closed for a month. Don't find another job. And I was like, bet. And 2 months passed, 3 months passed. And then my managers called me back again.
They're like,
hey, don't worry. It's going to turn up. We really want to bring you back.
Okay.
Bet I'll stay unemployed. Cool.
You're like, that is no problem.
4 months pass, 5 months pass, 6 months pass. I get a call from the GM. And he's like, hey, man, I just want to give you a call. I want to say I appreciate this. You've been talking to this manager and this manager. They tell me you're still unemployed because we're looking to hire you back. We will 100% hire you back, but I want to let you know if you need to find another job, go ahead and do it because it looks like we're going to be closed the rest of the year. And I was like, damn, bro, like, the fact that you reached out to me, like, means the world.
That's, like, respect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never had that kind of respect from a company ever before. And it's like, at least you're doing that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because, like, even though it was, like, hey, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but at 6 months, you're like, hey, look.
Yeah.
We know.
Like, like,
we know what's going on.
You gotta do, dude.
But they're like, yeah, like, just so you know,
that's
like,
really cool.
We'll hire you back, whatever, like, for sure. And I still haven't gotten a job because, honestly, it's like, I can't.
Well, I mean, why would you, honestly? Like, there's no. It's really hard to get a job right now, dude. Mm-hmm. Unless you're doing, like, Instacart or, like, Uber Eats or something like that, you know? Like,
and even that's not
a lot of places aren't hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Target's hiring.
But, and here's the thing, like, my landlord's, like, 60
Target
years
is
old.
always hiring.
Yeah, it
sometimes.
Is. My landlord's, like, 60 years old. She's right in the, you know, the dangerous age.
Yeah.
And I don't want to endanger her or anyone else in the household.
Right.
And it's just one of those things. It's like, it sucks, but, like, at least they reached out and was like, hey, we know it's been 6 months, but, like,
dude, and there's a lot of people in your position too, you know, like, there's a lot of people. Like, you would not believe that, like, age variety that we get of people now doing, like, Postmates and Uber Eats and DoorDash and everything like that.
You know what
I've
noticed?
It's crazy. Like, people just, like, trying to put food on their table because they have literally nothing else.
Yeah, you know what I noticed is, like, have you seen FedEx drivers recently?
Yes, and they have their kids.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh.
Have you?
Yes.
Do they really?
Oh my god, dude.
That's against policy.
No, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's like their kid. No, they're wearing a FedEx uniform, so it's like.
Oh, they're called runners.
Yeah, but they're, like, young. They look like they're kids.
Okay, so that was my.
I'm like
loopholes.
That was about to be my point. Is like FedEx drivers
so
get younger and younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They look like they're 19.
There's a girl that comes into our store that always comes with the FedEx driver that comes to our store. And she always comes and drops the packages off. And she, like, dude, she does not look older than maybe, like, 17. Like, I'm not even kidding.
As long as she's got the license.
Young. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Can I do another one?
She's having a FedEx uniform and everything, so she's official, but she looks really young. Like,
they can make a shit ton of money, like $40,000 a year.
They can make pretty good money.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a bottle opener? Thanks. See, dude, this is okay. So I just want to say real quick, this is all I wanted from this. Like, I'm so glad you're here, and like
casual conversation.
Yeah, we're like literally just straight chilling right now, drinking beer, and it's like the first time we drank beer together,
yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is like way chill. Like, you got to come to a bar with us sometime and just hang because
you're familiar with Moore Park, right? You live in Moore Park.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with, like, Lucky Fools?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, we should go there.
Let's go.
There
should be a bar.
Their patio is open.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Don't they have, like, 4 seats on their patio?
Yeah.
No, dude, they expanded.
I bet they expanded.
Like,
I bet they went to
across
the parking
whole
lot,
sidewalk.
The parking lot, right?
Nah, it's just
really?
The whole sidewalk. They pretty much like expanded. They have like probably 10 to 12 tables maybe now, and like it's
shit, dude,
good.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Honestly, the hardest part is just like organizing it because like you're still working, right? So you still have a schedule.
I know.
And I'm open, but like some days I'll be like, oh, I got the podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes like my schedule.
Some days it's the same 2 days every week.
Not today. Today's Tuesday. I'm more
this
flexible.
is
but
different
we're here
because
together.
we're going to a wedding.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like my schedule is more like, oh, we have this thing. We'll handle the podcast on Tuesday. But yeah, man, like we gotta fucking meditate. We gotta drink.
Okay.
We gotta party. He thinks meditation's dumb.
I tried it once. It wasn't for me. I didn't feel the same feeling that he talked about.
Well, dude,
it's not my thing.
You have to do it more than once, I think.
To
determine if something is your thing or not, I think especially with meditation, like I don't think it's like anybody can say it's not their thing. Like meditation is meditation. It's not like it like is defined by one group of people, like, you know.
Sure.
Like,
I'm a man of like science, man of numbers.
Okay.
I'm very like fact based.
Okay.
I know he's been reading all these fucking articles, books. About meditation.
There's scientific studies about meditation, and he's still discrediting it. A man of science.
But what?
Discrediting it. I haven't read it myself.
You don't believe that meditation?
I don't
works,
believe in holistic medicine. Like people have their healing crystals. All crystals, like
let him have it, sis. Go.
That's not my thing. Like,
off the leash. Let me have it. This is why you're here.
You're gonna get cut by this healing crystal.
You got a rock on your neck.
Light some sage on this bitch.
Okay, no, I like.
Let him have it. Let him have it. Go.
Anyone can believe in their own things. That's for them.
This is you. All you.
This stupid dumb bitch.
It's not
take these
my
headphones
thing.
off.
Astrology.
Well, give him some facts first.
Astrology, not my thing.
Okay.
Like I'm a Virgo. Cool. Like what else besides that?
Okay.
I don't think it dictates my personality.
I love seeing you you're ready to go.
But I'm like numbers. I can quantify that. It's realistic.
Right.
That's how he understands the world.
Yeah.
That's how I understand the world.
Okay, that's like, you know, like respect. I have full respect.
If one
for
person
that,
lights a branch and it makes them feel good for them.
Yeah.
Sage.
I mean,
it's
you know,
sage.
like
Sure.
it's called sage, bitch. No, I mean, like, dude, I feel like it's the same thing with like religion, you know, like, are you religious?
No.
Exactly. You know, so like, I feel like you have to find your way of like coping with the world and like understanding with how everything works. And if that is how you know, like understand the world, then that's how you understand the world, you know, like
everyone has their
thing. I don't
thing.
give a fuck if you don't believe in healing crystals. I do. Yeah. But like
more power to you.
Yeah, you know, like I don't know. I think like, but that's like different. Meditation, I feel like, is like
for anybody.
I feel like it's
not
for everybody.
It's not religion or quantifiable.
It's not.
I can't turn my brain off.
No, that's the thing.
But
That's the
thing.
idea. Is like you got to learn. Like,
yeah,
bro. Okay, so I'm gonna open up real quick, like on some real shit. Like when I started meditating, you know how when I was living in your old room, I was watching like all the cartoons from my childhood, trying to catch up on my childhood, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched a lot of Avatar. And this dude would like meditate and like go to the spirit world.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'd sit down and I'd meditate. And the first time I started meditating was in your room. And it wasn't until I moved out to Moore Park.
So it's your room. That's fucked up.
No.
My room is special.
I'm just fucking with you.
My room is the connection to the fucking spirit world. Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's where I started meditating.
Yeah, it's the start to the spirit.
But where I finally felt like I got somewhere in meditation was in the Moore Park house.
Shit.
And as weird as that may seem, I probably tried it 20 times before it finally clicked.
Exactly.
And I know it sounds weird, but like that's like 20 minutes of me in a session. 10 to 20 minutes sitting down, just breathing, trying to figure out like where I am. Mm-hmm. Just trying to clear your mind and like accept that. And like I said last time we talked about it on the podcast with Chase, it's like it's not about.
That was a while. It was like episode 39.
Yeah, it's not about waking up and being like, I'm gonna meditate for this purpose. It's about being open to what the meditation brings to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll feel calm. Sometimes I'll get angry after a meditation, and I'm like, you know what? This is just me processing that emotion, processing that thought, and that's the important part for me.
Anger.
But that's the important part for me. Is I feel it's like allowing yourself to feel that emotion, process it, and then think about it.
Exactly.
I've never been one to feel emotions very strongly.
Have you ever tried like when you tried meditation? What kind of meditation did you try? Just like sitting there and just like
what we do?
We just
did you do like a guided meditation?
It was not guided. It was just we tried listening to ASMR. So
fucking
here's the thing.
Okay.
Background white noise.
Yeah, he wanted to get me into ASMR. I wanted to get him into meditation. And the way
it's more than that, okay?
And that's the thing, right? Like imagine how much you like ASMR.
I haven't listened to ASMR in like months.
All right. Sometimes I skip
whatever
days of meditation. It's okay.
But like, I feel like you should try, like, guided meditation just once, like a guided meditation.
Is
where
there a guided ASMR meditation?
Probably.
I mean, like, what kind of ASMR like are you thinking about?
That's whatever. Because the
There's
thing was,
all kinds of ASMR.
I kept talking about how much meditation helped me.
Like, do you like you know, like nature?
I gotta take a whiz
noises,
real
or-
quick. Go ahead and just
Cool.
educate the people.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Educate this person. No, but for real, I think you should like try guided meditation. It's different. Like, it's different than just trying to sit there and like do it yourself, because you don't know where to start, you know? Like, you don't know what to do. Yeah, but he's not a professional.
He's a seasoned vet.
I am so novice, not even amateur.
You're a seasoned vet. Go
No,
pee.
No, dude.
He's been doing it for a while. I trust his opinion.
No, but I feel like it's different. Like, when you when you're just hearing someone like take you through everything, like, it's different. It's really different. Like, I do guided meditation. I don't.
How regularly do you meditate?
Probably
like once a week.
Once a week, probably. Like, on average. Sometimes more. Sometimes I don't at all. But usually about like once a week, especially like right before I go to bed. There's a lot of like guided meditations on Spotify.
What does it do for you? Why do you meditate?
Okay, I meditate because I feel like my life is so chaotic, like, especially working at a fast food restaurant. Like,
I feel that.
Everything is just like
Been
so
there.
fast,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I feel like that's just something that kind of helps my life like slow down and stops time passing so fast, and like kind of helps me reflect on everything that's going on in my life, you know. When I do guided meditations at night, I do it to fall asleep, you know, like I just lay there and listen to guided meditations, and then I just knock out.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why I do it, is just like for a peace of mind, just like to get away from everything that's happening in front of me, you know. Like, do you ever feel like time is passing, like just like
Oh my God, what a perfect way to ask him.
I mean, yes, but I live my life day to day, so
of course,
like,
I mean, so do I.
It doesn't really bother me or affect me. I'm just kind of like, okay, I wake up, I basically erase my mind. Hello.
I erased my mind. How the fuck did that get there?
I erase my mind of whatever happened like 2 days ago, because
Yeah.
like I said, I
That's
barely
basically meditation.
I barely remember
It's, like,
yesterday.
borderline.
Yeah.
Cause my memory is
He's
pretty
just
shit.
an active meditator.
I memorize little details about people.
Uh-huh.
I'm really good with faces and names.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm like at work with someone, they introduce like a new person and they tell me their name and I see their face, I'm like locked in, ready to go.
Interesting.
I'll
Yeah,
meet
I'm
him. I'll
not
see him like
that.
3 weeks later. I'm like, that we got a new transfer. Her name is Raina. She came from San
Oh
Diego.
my God, I would not have remembered that. I would have been like,
I'd be like, it
Renee?
starts with an L, right?
You look
Lorena?
like you look like an Amanda.
You look like an emoji. What the fuck?
That's just something I'm good with. That's
Yeah.
the one thing I'll remember. Like
Yeah.
dates, times, and faces and names.
Okay.
He is actually really good with dates and times and like.
Do you like history?
I love history.
I knew it.
I'm
You don't
all
like
about
history?
I'm all about facts. That's
Okay,
like
yeah, no, that makes.
He opened up the show with a butthole fact.
be
Fact.
now.
A B now.
The FFOTD.
I call it the butthole because a B now sounds like a code name for a butthole.
I'm gonna put chapstick.
For the listener, she's applying her chapstick.
What is that? Is that Burt's Bees?
This is Burt's Bees.
Everyone uses Burt's
All
Bees
organic.
nowadays.
This is vitamin E and peppermint.
Spicy.
Yeah.
I remember like
Spicy.
when
Fucking whitey.
it's hot, but it's not like
Spicy.
it's a way to describe it. I remember back in the day when I used to live in Arizona and we go to Whole Foods and I'd see Burt's Bees, but like I don't think it was popular. I don't know how long it's been around, but I never saw it until I went to Whole Foods. And then coming out here, it's like it's everywhere.
Oh yeah, Burt's Bees is
Super
very big.
popular.
Yeah. If you don't
I saw
use
the
Burt's
come
Bees,
up.
you're a bitch.
And if you use chapstick brand,
Yeah, you're a bitch.
Yo, like Carmex? I'm on the Carmex.
Oh, you know what though?
And the fucking
Carmex
squeeze
is
tube?
like low key.
Carmex is like it'll fix your lips overnight.
well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
basically like Vaseline though, yeah?
It's like spicy Vaseline.
Yeah.
Spicy cherry Vaseline.
That's why we always used it, because it was like it's cheap, but it's also like it'll get the job done tonight.
Yeah.
People get chapstick. They apply it like all throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You get
the Carmex.
You're good for a month.
Yep.
That shit does not fuck around.
Yep, pretty much.
And Aquaphor does the job good like that too.
Aquaphor, yeah.
I've never used Aquaphor.
Really?
No,
Isn't that for like sunburns and poison ivy?
It's good for tattoos.
Oh, tattoos.
It can be, but it's also good for chapped lips.
Yeah.
Like
It's
my brothers would
hydrating.
come home like with like sunburned chapped lips, and like my mom would put that.
Really?
And it would like heal them in like 2 days.
Super fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's a good healer.
That's not something you think about. I don't think about like the tattoos actually.
Yeah.
You know what else is also a good healer?
Crystals?
Aloe vera.
Sage. Aloe vera.
And sage.
Yeah, aloe.
Hemp.
And crystals.
Aloe.
Hemp.
Marijuana.
Aloe has a lot of uses.
Who?
Aloe.
Oh, aloe, dude.
Never met him.
Never met.
Don't know him. Don't care.
Yeah, dude. Aloe. I have an aloe bush. Bush? What do you call it? Shrub?
Maybe.
Plant?
Yeah, plant.
Succulent?
Succulent. Sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever. I have one. I use it for everything.
Do you you grow your own aloe vera?
Yeah.
You're a plant mom?
You get home from the beach and you're like,
Yeah, actually.
How many plants do you have? What's your favorite plant?
I think my favorite my favorite plant is definitely aloe vera. Just like that's what I own.
See, can I just make a suggestion next time?
Sure.
You know how we got here and you're like, hey, nothing's really going on, same old shit, different day.
Yeah.
And I was like, what have you been up to? Next time someone asks you that, just be like, I love plants.
I've just planted a plant.
You're like,
that's what I've done.
I have an aloe vera plant. Like that's like so.
Sometimes I want to be like my dogs, but then I just
I
don't want to
love
sit there and
dogs. For me,
talk about my dogs. People are like,
I will talk about your
this
dogs.
bitch is lonely as fuck.
I'll talk about your dogs.
If you talk about your plants, they're gonna think you're lonely as fuck.
Like, no, I sing to my plants for sure.
I just think plants is like a super interesting thing. Like,
Really?
it's
A lot of people like that shit.
When you ask people, and that's the thing too. I remember I was in it was a vocal technique class
Interesting.
I was trying to learn how to sing.
Wow.
Still can't.
I was gonna say.
I didn't learn shit.
I was gonna say with fucking.
I didn't learn shit, but I took the class.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, and I was in the vocal tech class, and the accompaniment, the pianist, very quiet pianist, and the penis in the class was a very quiet, kind of off dude.
Yeah.
And then
Aren't they all?
A little bit. I mean, musicians are fucking weird. I don't like them. Fuck musicians.
Yeah, fuck musicians.
Fuck all musicians.
Fucking weirdos.
Anyone who does anything with audio and music. And
fuck them.
It's just like
stupid.
Totally weird. Wouldn't hang out with them ever.
Yeah, neither would I. Anyway, so one day this old lady comes up to him, and she's like, "I love your shirt," and like just starts a conversation like that. And I was like, "Wow, that's really," because like I'm not like great at social exchanges. I'm more just
Right.
like, you look fucking funny.
Yeah.
You look
abrasive.
Your face is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Why is your face different? You know,
Right.
Shit like that. And this sweet old lady goes up to this guy and goes, "You have a nice collared shirt. Did you wake up early and iron it?" And he goes, "Yeah, actually I did."
Aww.
And I was like,
dude, that is like
this is like a precious ass moment, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm savoring this.
And like just like as like a dude, I feel like I'm one of the dudeliest dudes you'll ever meet. Like I'm just dudely, right? I'm like as dude as it gets.
Do you build stuff? No.
Yeah.
Then you're not that much of a dude.
What was the last thing you built?
A podcast.
You're not a dude.
We destroy shit. We don't build shit.
That's pretty fucking
That is
dudely.
like less dudely. If you don't build things, you're not that dudely. I feel like.
Only dudes like.
I can give you
construction?
the blueprints to my desk, and you can build it for me.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I have them
Wait,
somewhere.
but you
I can
have
find
a
them.
desk.
I have a dream desk.
Sophie pointing out the obvious over here.
I've drawn schematics for like a dream desk.
Okay, well, if you're gonna build his dream desk, can you build me a bed frame?
Sure.
That's easy.
Okay.
You can do that.
Oh, okay.
Kunk.
Can you guys do that
kunk.
then? No, like actually, like you have to cut the measure
1,
and
2,
cut
3,
the wood.
Do you have the
like-
tools?
5, 6, 7.
I don't have
8,
tools.
So you're
and
not a
slats
man.
across. It's 8
You're not
pieces
a
of
dude.
wood and some slats.
I did.
Can you build my
9.
bed?
I did construction. If you can supply the
Maybe.
tools, I can.
I got the tools.
Your dad's got tools, right? You could use his tools.
There we go.
We'll use his dad's
So
tools.
they're gonna build me a bed here first.
Yeah, I'm down. That sounds easy. But
okay,
I'm derailed now.
So you're the dude's dude. Okay.
I'm the dudeliest dude of dudes.
Right.
You got a beard.
I got a beard. I got a beard now.
That's why he grew the beard in the first place.
Yeah.
So he could be the dudeliest dude.
So I could prove to you I'm the dudeliest dude.
He's the dudelier dude than you. Now.
I only got half a beard.
He only grew that because I grew a beard.
No. You said I should, so I did it.
It looks good, though.
Besides the point.
It looks good.
I'm a
It
goat.
does look good.
Anyway, the sweet old lady goes up to this guy and was like, I love your shirt. It looks so nice. Did you iron it this morning? And just has this like gentle moment. And I'm like, Jesus, that's beautiful. Like, why is this so beautiful? And I would never start a conversation like that.
With a compliment?
No, fuck that.
Yeah, you're definitely against that.
We're friends because I'm like, hey, you look stupid. Do you want to learn how to cook chicken and expand your...
like, yeah, you fucking loser. Sure.
Yeah, that was it.
That was pretty much how we became friends.
It's it. It's every time.
You suck at your job. So do you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we would like argue in the back and then people would be like, Sophie, get up front. And you're like, okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'll be right back. We'll finish this later.
And I was like, cool. But yeah, true. I would never like start with a compliment like that. But she was like this sweet old lady and she was like, it looks ironed. It looks so nice. You look so good today. And he's like, oh, thank you. And they just start chopping it up, right? And eventually he goes, yeah, I just got these seeds for like some new houseplant. And then she's like, really? I would have never guessed. And they keep talking. And the next week, she brings him seeds in a potted plant as a gift.
Aww.
And I was like, dude, that's like, right? Like, is that not like one of the most generous things?
So like, sweet. Dude, people have, like, that's never happened to me, but I've seen that happen before. Like, Thea, dude, she would, like, make connections like that with people at work. And people would, like, bring her stuff. Like, a dude came to our work and offered her a job just because, like, they were talking. And she was like, I love candles. And he was like, oh, well, I just started a candle business. You want a job?
That's crazy.
And she was like, sure.
Really?
And, like, he hired her.
That's why
and she was like...
to make candles.
I love candles.
She was like one of like the high up people in like his business.
Really?
For like, like 6 months. And then she was like, but yeah, like, isn't that crazy? Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. But basically...
It's something that actually like genuine human beings do.
But I think...
You gotta talk to people.
That's what I'm saying. I think my point is like, I've learned to get to the chase, right? Like when people ask me how my day is, it's like, I told you about like, I'm doing music. I'm working on a few songs. That's what I like doing. And if the pianist was like, hey, how's your day? Good. I'm really excited to go home and check on my, like, flowers. Some people might be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, are you weird? Like, what's wrong with you? But other people who, like, are into that will be like, oh, dude. Yeah. Here's some seeds of, like, some cherries. Like, go plant these. They're great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that thing all the time, too, of, like, with anime. Like, for a long time, I was, like, super, like, uncomfortable being like, yeah, I watch anime. Because it's, like, in high school, it's like, oh, you're a fucking faggot who watches, like, adult cartoons. And it's, like...
But now it's, like, cool to
But now it's, like, normal, right? And, like, the thing is, like, if someone asks you, like, hey, what do you like to watch? It's like, I love emo music and anime.
They're like, wow, you're so cool.
But, like, no, here's the thing. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine. But, like, for the people who do like it, it attracts people. It's like the energy you give is the energy you get, you know?
Dude, there's this chick that comes into Panda, and she is always wearing... Well, I don't know if she's, like, wearing it. She's a massage therapist. And she always has this, like, certain essential oil smell. And whenever she comes into the store, like, I know immediately that it's her. And we started talking about it the other day, and she's like, oh, yeah, like, I buy it on Amazon, like, it's such and such, like, brand, like, it's this and that.
$12, I could run my whole company for $16
Literally,
a year.
she was like, oh, yeah, it's, like, $30 for, like, these, like, this blend of, like, essential oils and whatever. Like, oh, yeah, it's on Amazon, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, that's, like, so cool. Like, I really am, like, into essential oils. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll go buy it right now. Would have never known that if I didn't say anything.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, it always surprises me how casual some things can be. Because I guess maybe it was just the way I was, like, brought up or whatever. Yeah. But, like, sometimes when I see moments like that, I'm like, that's beautiful. Like, the artist in me is like, that's fucking a scene from a movie.
Do you want to hear a story?
course.
That's like kind of like that. Okay, so it must be like maybe like 2 years ago. I was in a class at college. It was like an English class. And, you know, like it was the first day, you know, you just go in and like sit down wherever the fuck. And this kid sat down next to me, and he, you know, like how my boyfriend, he's into calisthenics. So he like sat down next to me, and I noticed like his muscles. Like, but
and you're like, damn,
like,
bro.
No, but like you can tell the difference between people who lift weights and like how their muscles grow versus people who only do body weight like fitness. You can tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's
you're kind of
really
like a
different
fitness guru.
I mean, kind of, but like since I'm around like people who do body weight a lot, like you can tell.
Could you describe the difference then? Because like to me, it's like I feel like I have higher than normal like muscle mass, because I literally talked about this on the last podcast.
I'm gonna pee myself. Don't make me laugh.
I was like, I feel like I'm like muscularly and strong.
It's like it's like a more leanness.
But
to
like,
calisthenics.
but like people who like exercise and lift weights.
Okay, so I feel like
how are they different?
I feel like people who lift weights, like their muscles just get like very big, and like they just, you know, like they look big and like whatever in all the different areas, versus like when someone does like calisthenics, like body weight stuff, I feel like their muscles are more like, they're not huge, but like they're very, very defined. Like they're very like you
Renee.
can tell that like you can tell they're strong.
You see that dude, you know, flipping some chow mein, or some orange chicken, and you're like, dude, God damn, bro. You see his forearm and his bicep, you're like, Jesus.
Those people who can be deceptively strong.
Yeah, who like you wouldn't think like could lift strong. Like a ton of weight, but you know. So I noticed him, right? So then we did like this little icebreaker type thing. And one of the things he said was like, oh yeah, like I do calisthenics. I go to Venice Beach, Santa Monica.
And you said, sorry,
and I was sitting right next to him, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you go to Santa Monica? Like, I also, you know, like go there, and like my boyfriend, you know, does all this stuff, and my friends and whatever, and they compete. And he was like, wow, really? Like, that's so cool. So, you know, like we got each other's Instagram. Like he wanted my boyfriend's Instagram, and he like started talking to my boyfriend, like not even me, started talking to my boyfriend, and like now, it's just like respect, bro. But like, you know,
bros before Sophia, I guess.
Exactly, like rip. But he like started talking to my boyfriend, and then like we were talking, and I was like, yeah, dude, you know, like we go every Sunday, like this and that. And it took about like maybe like 6 months to a year, because he's like from Israel, so he was on like student or like a student visa program. Like a student visa type thing. So he had to go to school and like do like these certain things in order to keep his visa. So on Sundays he had like an obligation, and that was when we would go to the beach. So for like the longest time he wouldn't come, but like then like 6 months later he started going, and now like 2 years later he's like friends with all my friends. He's like super tight with everybody in the community. Like he knows tons of people. He's like grown hella. And like all just because like we were sitting together, like we sat next to each other in class. So and I was crazy. Like, wait, you do that? Like that's crazy.
It's
like,
who you know, not what you know.
Exactly, dude. Like seriously. So it's like crazy. And he's still like comes and like hangs out with my boyfriend, and like goes over to his house, and like
that's badass, dude.
Yeah, like all just because of that one conversation. Like I think about it all the time, like how crazy that is.
That's
like
so
it
sick.
Changed, like I'd like to think it changed like his whole life. Like he's gained so many friends just by coming
in another country, nonetheless.
Excuse me for a moment.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm next. I have to pee so bad.
In the meantime, I got a question for you. Okay. Is I often tell people so at Panda Express, I remember we talked about your boyfriend's family has like a gym out in. Okay,
so it's my boyfriend's. Well, it's my friend. He has a gym in Ecuador.
Okay, yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I often will like ignorantly be like, I know someone who does this, and they live like kings. Because we talked when I was doing the dishes that one day, and I was like, you told me they live like kings, and they own property out here. and they take the rent from.
Oh, okay. So
you know
so
what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Cool,
so
cool.
that wasn't my friend personally. It was someone that I met in Ecuador when we were at my friend's gym. So basically, like my friend from Ecuador, his name is Mauricio. He came out here on a student visa, like years ago, like 6 to 7 years ago, and he went to college and like was educated and graduated with a degree. And then he really loved it out here, so he continued to stay on like a work visa. And then he met us, and my friends really inspired him, and he went back to Ecuador and he started a gym. And so he threw like the first competition, and when we went out there, we met like tons of people, and one of the people that we met, he was telling us that basically like he came from the United States and he went to Ecuador, and they still own property here, and basically they just rent the property out here, and they use the money that they make and pay for their, because like everything is very cheap to us in Ecuador. Like, dude, like shit doesn't cost more than like $5, you know, like it's really like different. So they would just use their money, and they bought like a really big house, and like, you know, like they were considered like very, very rich and wealthy out there. And literally that's all he did was just rent property here in the United States, and he would use that money there in Ecuador, and his family like lived really well.
So is that in the gym 2 separate families then?
Yes.
Okay.
2 separate families.
I typically conflate those.
Okay.
But if you want to talk about the gym too.
Yeah, so the gym, it's actually like doing really, really well. He has a really big client base now, which is really good for being in Ecuador and like everything. I think a lot of kids like they don't really have much out there, you know, compared to us. It's really, really different. So that's kind of
it's
like
also good like to get culture shock. People who
it was really crazy. So when I was out there, I don't know if I just like wasn't there long enough to experience like huge culture shock, but for the most part, I didn't really experience it until we went to this like little tiny town that was literally, it was a 2-hour drive into the middle of nowhere next to this volcano that had ruptured like thousands of years ago. I forget that it's like called Pugini or something like that. But literally no electricity, no water, like no running water, no nothing, dude. Like everything was cooked. Like, dude, they were cooking guinea pigs. Jesus. On stoves, like outside. And like that was just like, you know, it was like this little town. Like, you ever seen like in movies and stuff, like little Amish towns where it's like literally only them and like nothing else in the world exists? Like, that's what it was. It was insane. Like, I've never seen anything like that in my life, and it's like really makes you like grateful for what we have here, and like, do I really need that, or do I just want it?
I got a good friend of mine.
Privileged.
I got a good friend of mine, Kevin, who went to Vietnam to visit his family and his cousins and his other side of the family who didn't move to the United States.
Yeah.
And when he went there to visit, he stayed for a few weeks, and every night he said they gave him a feast. And he was like, it was crazy because like it was like rats and like
whatever's available.
Yeah, like whatever they could eat, right? And for the most part, like, he's American, like he eats the Vietnamese food that his mom makes, but like for the most part it's like, yo, like, this is a rat.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, every night they were there, they cooked him a feast because he was a guest. And that's just what they do.
Yeah.
They're like,
that's like the same in Ecuador.
You're my cousin, bro. Of course I'm going to feed.
Yeah. It's crazy how, like, we're so, like, uncultured, honestly, here. Like, we really, like, if you're not taught that kind of thing.
Well, if you don't live it, right?
You know, like, you don't do that. Like you're like, oh, I don't care. Like you're a guest, like whatever, you know, like you can run down to the fridge and grab some food or like, you know, help yourself to whatever. It's like not, it's very different. Yeah. Like when we were in Ecuador, dude, like his mom made homemade meals 3 times a day. Every single day. We were there for like I think we were there for like 10 to like 13 days or something like that. And his mom made 3 meals a day for us every single day.
Yeah.
And like they're like not like they don't have as much money as we do, and they still did that.
And that's the thing
for tons of people. There was like 10 of us staying at their house, you know, and it's like crazy, you know, like people here, they'd be like, oh, I don't want 10 people staying at my house, like let alone cooking for 10. For them, you know, it's an honor. Them, yeah, for them it's like, oh my god, like we're really happy that you're here. It's crazy. Like it makes me feel like so like white.
Yeah. Like, no, that's the best way to say it, is like we are white. It's
just like so weird.
There's actually a meme right now. It's like when you order a pizza and you hear the doorbell ring, you get excited. When you haven't ordered a pizza and you hear the doorbell ring, you get suspicious.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who the fuck wants to talk?
Why the fuck is someone coming to my door? Who knows where I live?
Yeah, there's a very like loner attitude almost in American culture where it's like, unless I'm paying you to show up here, don't fucking show up here.
Yeah, right? Isn't that weird?
It's so weird to me because it's like, I've been like beneficial enough to like, even at Raul's birthday party, shout out to Raul. Bro, we went to his house. We went to my friend's house. Go ahead.
I have to pee so
go ahead.
Where's the bathroom?
All the way to
literally
the left.
Straight left.
Okay.
It's one of those weird doors where it's kind of in the wall. It should be sticking out. It doesn't lock, but don't worry about it. It's closed. No one's going to go in there.
We went to Raul's house and nice. We went to Raul's house and his mom cooked us a bunch of food, man. Like,
I felt so bad because she was serving it all, and I also felt bad because Raul was helping it. He wasn't doing anything.
I felt bad. You want to know when I felt bad? I felt bad because I wasn't helping, and Raul was doing it. It was his birthday, and like as a white person, it's like everyone serves you on your birthday.
Yeah.
But like
you're the king.
You're the king on your birthday, right?
Meanwhile, it's his birthday, and he's serving everybody.
He's like, "Can
else.
I get you a beer? Can I get you a plate?" And I was like, "No, bro. What can I do for you?" He's like, "Oh no, my mom doesn't want me to." And I was like, "Okay, well that's cool." And then like we're sitting down eating at the table, and another time I felt bad. He's like, "Can we hurry it up because like my parents want to eat too?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
I didn't know they were waiting on us.
I didn't know they were waiting on us. Like, I thought they were just sitting over there, like, eating, like, you know.
They let all of us eat first.
But they let us all eat first. And I was like, fuck. Like, that. I felt so bad. I didn't know I was, like, taking up their time to eat. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh, man, now their food's fucking cold. And it was delicious food. But it was like, his mom was like, do you want more? Do you want more? Do you want more? And she kept going around to everyone. And Raul kept going around to everyone. Do you want more? Eat more. Please eat more. We have so much food. And I was like, all right, like, a second plate. All right, a third plate. And then he's like, can we hurry it up? And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I didn't know I was... Mm-hmm. It's like, I thought I was doing the right thing. Now I feel like I'm overstaying my welcome. And it's just crazy because, like, there's so many little nuances of culture, of, like, of that, you know? And, like, for me, it's like, I don't ever get to provide that for Raul or Oscar. Like, I'm just the white guy who's got, like, parents, like, that they can't really come to dinner with, you know?
Well, until you host your own events.
That's true. That's kind of what we do at Ryan's. We barbecue and we just chill.
Yeah, but that's not you hosting your own events. That's him hosting an event.
Yeah, you're right. But like, it's one of those things of like, I guess it is. Yeah, you're right.
Because like, if I were to host everybody, I'd be cooking for everybody. I'd making sure everyone got their fill, and then I'd.
Yeah, you're right. I would too.
So.
Damn.
It's just one of those things.
That's one thing I wanted to do with you too, because the park.
Barbecue?
Yeah, dude. I told you about that, right? I was like, we need to meditate and fucking barbecue, because that park is beautiful, dude.
Dude, low key, it's become kind of like weird lately, like really sketchy.
What's up?
Like.
Oh, can I get another beer? And then I'm sorry, I'm super into this. I want you to talk about the curse of your neighborhood. Because we talked about that last time.
Okay.
And then go into.
And then I'll go into the curse of the park now.
Then go into the curse of the park and then talk about the park.
Okay, so curse of the neighborhood. It's like all my shitty neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we moved into the house, like we were the first owners.
This is crazy.
And we like had neighbors, obviously, and they would like point their camera. Okay, so they were finding pieces of cat food in their backyard, apparently. And like, who notices that? First of all,
it always starts off so petty and small.
Like, who notices that? First of all, okay.
How'd they know it was cat food?
So
they tasted it.
They like looked it up on the internet. Like, actually,
what does cat food look like?
I'm not kidding you. They were like, I don't know, but they knew it was cat food, right? And at the time, we didn't even own a cat. Like, we owned a dog, no cat. So they were like accusing my older brothers, because I was very young at the time. I was maybe like 7, 8. So they were accusing my older brothers of throwing pieces of cat food into their backyard, right? So they installed a camera. Yeah, who does that? And like, who just like throws cat food, like, and they're like, oh
like, my God. I would for sure break your window for fun before I throw cat food over a fucking wall.
And they're like, oh my God, did they notice? Yeah. Like, oh. But like, no. So they would accuse my brothers of throwing the cat food into their yard. So one night, my brother noticed a camera pointing into our backyard from their house, and like, yeah, they were like recording us in our backyard to make sure that we weren't the ones throwing, or to catch us if we were throwing cat food into their yard. And it was just like this whole thing, like the police were called and whatever. Like, we found out like years later, like they were in a cult.
Years later.
And they were like very strange.
What?
They, like, moved.
Yeah.
Did you just say they were in a cult?
I was like,
yeah.
You need to learn how to tell that story, because when you told me, it was perfect.
What the fuck?
The transition from it's cat food to cult, like, it's so important.
Like,
that's a crucial turn in the story.
I don't know. They were just like very weird.
They're
like,
you start with their weird. They're in a cult.
The daughter, like, that was around my age. Like, I think she was like a few years younger than me. She was very she didn't speak. She would yell, like she would go like
that's autism.
and like hit you, and like, yeah, it was like borderline autism, I think. And like, she literally, like, they wouldn't teach her to speak, they wouldn't force her to speak. It was just like mute.
But it was part of the cult, right? It was like
like something, dude. And
autism.
then like we
no, they didn't educate their daughter.
No, like they didn't teach
she
her.
Didn't go to
they
school
didn't
or
force
anything.
her, like nothing,
school,
dude. Like, it was weird.
It's abuse for
and
sure.
So like, yeah, it was just like really weird. Like, they would call the cops on us, like, for anything. Like, my grandparents came for Mother's Day and parked in front of our driveway, like my driveway, and they called the cops on us for my grandparents parking in front of our driveway. And technically it's illegal for you to like block, you know, a driveway or whatever. So the cops came,
only if it's theirs.
And they were like, oh, we're gonna write you a ticket if you don't move. Like, they just like were feuding with us like 24/7. And like, the cops were getting called all the time. And like, one day they were just like, they moved, and their parents came over and like apologized to us for like everything that happened, because it was shortly after we found the camera pointing into our backyard that they moved, because we obviously called the cops on them and was like, what the fuck, you know? Like, we had, like, I was young at the time, and like, you know, my brothers were not much older, so it's like, why the fuck are you recording young kids in their backyard? Like, that's
sus.
That's like really creepy.
That's
like,
as sketchy as it gets.
You know, that's like really weird. So yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, like they joined a cult, and like they moved to like Ohio or something like that, like some like random, like, you know,
culty looking place,
like just like Bible beating, like like, I don't know, dude, like, it was just weird. And we literally never heard about them or from them or anything ever again. Like, it was just gone. So then the people after that, they moved in, and like they were there for maybe like a year. But just like, my whole neighborhood is just like so sketchy. Like, people, my mom caught someone like going around, because my mom used to take my dog, don't ask why. But she didn't want my dog pooping in the backyard, so and killing our grass, so that's why.
Awesome.
But the park by my house is like literally like 10 feet down the road.
Before you get into the park real quick, there's one more story about broken windows.
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So don't you worry.
These are really good, man.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
So one night my mom comes out and like she would take my dog down to the park at like midnight before she would go to bed. Super sketchy. I don't know why she would do it.
Super sketchy.
But she would, and she would find like people robbing cars in our neighborhood, because our neighborhood used to be like very safe. Like it was, everyone knew each other, everyone trusted each other, like kind of like the 1920s type shit. Yeah. And then like people started, like weirdos started hanging out at the park, and like gangs started hanging out at the park, and then it's just like people started robbing our cars, and like yeah. So then we get this family that moves in like a couple houses down from me, and it's like an Asian couple. I think they're like Chinese. They moved here from China and they moved directly into this house. So you know, like very traditional, like wife and daughter sit in the back seat, wife does not drive, the man would drive, like very traditional. Well, the wife has like very severe like psychosis, like very severe mental issues. And she, like, from the second they moved in, she would like call the cops like every week. It was like, someone's crawling up my house, like trying to get in, come and help me. Someone's trying to break in, come and help me. Like, I'm telling you, like every day there would be cops at the house for like weeks. And then, you know, it would kind of like taper off for a couple weeks, and then it would start again. Like, oh, you know, like she's back at it. You know, you see the cops pulling up, like the ambulance. Like she would just call them and be like,
and they have to respond.
And they have to, yeah, they have to come, you know, because she sounds so distressed. So one night, I am like dead ass asleep, and my parents, like their window faces like the street and like the outside. And I just remember waking up to like, call 911, she has a hammer. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I go running out of bed, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I run out into the street, and literally every single car on like that half of the neighborhood, their windows were just shattered, like completely smashed out. Every single car for about like 10 houses. And I was like, dude, are you
she just went to town,
and she's there like with her hammer. And so apparently like my dad was either like about to go to bed, or he was already in bed and he heard something, and he got up and like looked out the window and saw her coming towards my house with a hammer. And like my brother has a car in the driveway that he's been working on for like
a few nice ones,
7 or 8 years. He's been working on this car, building it up from scratch, which, like, you know, you probably can't find a windshield for this car anywhere anymore, because it's like a 30-year-old car. And so my dad goes running downstairs, and he's like, no, like don't hit my car. She's like, you call the police. And he's like, okay, yeah, don't worry, I'll call the police, like, it's okay, just go back home. And so she's like, yeah, you call police. And he's like, okay. And so he's like yelling to my mom, like, to call 911. The cops come and everything, and like, yeah, dude, like, and some people, they had like 2 to 3 cars in their driveway or like parked out in the street. She got all of them, every single car. And like, yeah, she just like went ham. And just because she like wanted the police to come, and like,
you could just call them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what's your emergency? How's it going?
But like, yeah,
I'm
like
just taking a bubble bath.
So the story goes that like she has a son, supposedly, that lives here, and he goes to school somewhere. I don't know, like, if he's like gay, or if he's just like very just like not wanting to have anything to do with the family or something.
I love how those are the two like deciding factors in a Chinese family.
It's something like that. I don't remember which one.
If you're gay, you're not my son.
No, but it was like he didn't want to like come back to the house or something like that. And she wanted him to come to the house. And I think that was what she was trying to do, is like
get attention,
get the cops to like bring her son back to the house.
That's not how it works in America.
And and I think that's maybe like what happened in, I don't know, but like but that's like what would happen. You just
call
and
the
like
police and you're just like, oh, my son. They're like, we're on it, ma'am.
But so I don't know. It was really crazy. And like her husband, I guess they didn't sleep in the same area of the house.
She cut his dick off.
He sleeps upstairs and she slept in like the garage or something, and she like snuck out. And like he didn't hear her, and like she just got out with a fucking hammer.
That's
like
so terrible.
And and so she
hey honey, go to bed right next to this toolbox.
She went to jail for like, you know, like 24 hours, 6 hours, or however the fuck long they can keep them. And then they released her. And, you know, like my neighbor at the time, he was the CEO of Cheesecake Factory.
Damn.
So he was like very high up there, you know, like he was like, no, like I want her in fucking jail. Like, look what she did. She got like 3 or 4 of their cars.
All he had to do was press charges. Did he press charges?
Well, the fucking cop, like, fuck this fucking dick. He was like, oh, well, you know, like, you're President Ronald Reagan. Like, he wanted to get all political with it. And, oh, you know, like, he closed all of the... I don't know if you know this,
bro, but right now the president's black.
He was like, oh yeah, like he got rid of all the mental institutes, and you can thank him for that, and like this and that. And like he wanted to get like all like political and shit. And I was like, bro, she literally just smashed out thousands of dollars worth of windshields. If that was like a different person, like let's say, you know, like a black or Mexican or a male or like anything.
Why a male? What's male's got it? What are boys gonna do with it?
Straight to jail.
Male. I don't know. I feel like males are more like
aggressive,
you know, like threatening than female. You know,
the
like if a female were to like smash a window out and be like, oh,
PMS,
and then
he said it too.
And then like a guy were to go and smash windows out and been like,
he's dangerous.
He would, it's just how society. Yeah, it's just like how society is. So he was like, oh, you know, probably. Like she's mentally unstable, so all we can do is put her in holding. And we were all like, okay, that's kind of like fucking bullshit, because that was intentional. Like she intentionally destroyed and defaced property of like other people, like thousands of dollars worth,
just to see you guys, apparently.
And meanwhile, if a teenager wants to kill themselves, they get sent to some fucking hospital.
So it was really interesting. So literally the next day in the afternoon, she like got out of jail. They went and picked her up, and like I think they put her somewhere because she came back and she had like really short hair and like
Channel Island.
She was like just fuck. She was like very silent and like didn't. The cops were called like way less after she came back. But yeah, so that was one story, and then there was one. Thank God I wasn't home when this happened, because I probably like wouldn't be able to live in my house anymore. But apparently my dad, he wakes up very early for work, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
So
champion.
Yeah. So he like would wake up, and he heard something like on our front porch, like something like bang.
It's gonna be the scariest shit ever, dude.
And so, you know, he was just like, whatever. Like he goes and he opens the front door, and he was looking around, and he was like, okay, like I don't see anything. And then all of a sudden he sees someone like move on our front porch. And there was this fucking guy laying on my front porch, like drugged out of his mind, like on meth or like something like that, like crack or meth or something like that. And he like looks up at my dad, and my dad was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, where's Chris? And my dad was like, who the fuck are you? Like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, what? And he was like, ugh. And like my dad like slammed, like, you know, like went back in the house and like locked the door and called the cops. And the cops come and they're like searching all over for this dude because he had taken off my front porch. And the cops come and whatever, and they're looking for him all over my neighborhood. And they find like his shirt somewhere. So he had like taken his shirt off after he got off my front porch. And then they look and he's hiding under my neighbor's car. And like whatever, they arrest him. And
could you imagine though, like being a cop and you're like, I can't find this guy. Hang on.
And then it turns out they parked right here. Mm. The car was right here. So he, like, if he would have had a gun or like anything, he could have just like gotten them real good, because they had no idea where this guy was.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, like 3:00 in the morning, pitch dark. And so they arrest him and whatever. He was like strung out on drugs, like high as shit. And it turns out that this guy had been involved in a stabbing not too far from my house. And he was like one of like the prime suspects. And he had like dipped from the scene and just like went to my front porch.
You know what eases this pain? Some meth and a nap.
Exactly.
I choose that front porch.
Like, yeah, well, because in my neighborhood, our front porch, like, we have a lot of plants. Mm-hmm. So it's very covered with plants and trees and like stuff. So it's like kind of secret, like, you know, you can't really see. And he was just like taking a nap like on my fucking front porch. And thank God I wasn't like, I was like in San Diego for something. But I was like, my dad was like texting me and I was like, dude, like, are you fucking kidding me? And yeah, and like they found his phone like a couple days later in the gutter, and like we had to, like, my neighbors had to take his phone in for evidence and like all kinds. It was crazy. And yeah, so that's that. Then the park next to my house.
I gotta pee again, but keep going.
I'll tell him.
Just keeps going.
Yeah,
I told you, man. She has a curse.
There's a curse
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like never ending. We've had people come and like stalk our house. Like when I was young, my mom had to call the cops because there was like some guy standing outside of our house, like looking in our window.
Just hanging out.
Just like, yeah. And then when she called the cops, like he went and like dipped through like multiple backyards to like get away. Yeah, when I was in middle school, there was like a rapist that came and parked, because so it's like my house, a park, and then the middle school. And like some dude who was like trying to rape kids came and like parked right there and was like trying to get me and my friend to like come to his car. He ended up getting arrested. Like we called the cops on him. He got arrested. He like ran from the cops and everything. Yeah. We have homeless people over at our park. One guy used to just like pee everywhere. And like just...
That's not that bad.
Just like, well...
Comparatively so far, that's the least of like the worries.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I just don't enjoy seeing homeless dick. Or
sure.
Anyone's dick in general. That isn't what I want to see.
Sure. Fair enough.
But yeah, we would like find him in like bushes. Like just like shit-faced drunk, passed out, just like in a bush, like looking like he's dead. I've seen people get shot with beanbags at my park, nice. Like from running from the cops. Yeah, it is. It is definitely something. That was a fast pee.
I pee fast.
But definitely my favorite one, which is as of recent, which you haven't heard yet.
I haven't heard this one yet?
No. So
wait, did you finish the car crash one?
Which car crash one?
The one you thought it was me?
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
that one is really fucked up.
And then get into the next one.
So, okay.
But that one I remember was like, that was the day before we walked the dogs.
Yes. Okay. So on the way to my house, there's like this kind of like turny, kind of curvy part. And a lot of people have crashed there. Like people kind of
it's hard to see when it's dark.
Yeah, like, and like people definitely misjudge the turns. Like they think that it's not going to be as sharp of a turn, but it's like a pretty sharp turn and then a really sharp turn back. A lot of people have crashed there before, like we've seen it, but nobody has ever like really like gotten in trouble there. Usually it's just like, you know, they go over the curb or like whatever. But this one night, I had like just fallen asleep. It was probably like 12:30. And I was like in that sleep where like you're half awake, half asleep type shit. And all of a sudden I hear like this huge like, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I've heard that before, you know, like I've heard car crashes by my house before. And I'm like, shit. But I was like sitting there and I was like, wait, it was like one of those things where you like sit straight up from your sleep. Like you're like, what the fuck? And I knew exactly what it was, but it was weird because I didn't hear any like brakes or any like, you know, like before you hear a crash, it's like,
yeah.
It was just like, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was really loud too. I was like, okay. But then I was like, okay, like, I don't know. I like sat there for a second and listened and I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay, you know, like half asleep type shit. I was like, whatever, it's probably nothing. Like, you know, whatever. It's probably just a train or something because there's train tracks right by my house too. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a train or something. So I go back to
train derailed, no big deal.
I like fell back asleep. And the next morning I woke up and 3 kids were driving a car and they were apparently drinking and they were just like going balls to the wall speed, and they just like didn't turn. They just went straight and went right into a tree. And some people say that they flipped over. Other people say that they didn't flip over. But basically the car just like caught on fire and they like died. All 3 of them died. Like
they all burned alive.
I'm probably, because there's no way that impact could have killed all 3 of them. But yeah, it was like pretty fucked up. And I went to school with one of them. He was like I think like a year younger than I was. And I was like very familiar with him. Like he would always go to the park that I live next to. And like, yeah, it was like really fucked up. And like still to this day, it's been almost a year, I think. Yeah, like I think it's been almost a year. There's still like a little like, what do you call it? Vigil like set up for them and stuff. But yeah, that was like really fucked up. Like my parents saw the car being removed. And my dad said that the car was so burned that you could barely even tell what kind of car it was. And then he told me like the police report came out and said it was a Mustang. And I know that this motherfucker drives a Mustang. And I was like, oh fuck. Like I was, and you know, I was scared. I only had
2 other friends.
I was scared. Yeah. And I was like, what motherfucker only has 2 friends?
Alec.
But yeah, I was like really genuinely scared. And so I messaged him and then I made him hang out with me to prove that he wasn't dead. Yeah, that was like really fucked up. That was really messed up.
By the way, my car's street legal now. So remember how you said you wanted to go for a ride?
Yeah,
but I was like,
let's do it now.
My turning signal doesn't work. My brakes don't work. My headlights don't work. And
cool.
That's all fixed.
Now we won't get arrested.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Now we'll go for a drive.
If you want to.
Cool. Now that I know you're not dead.
Yeah. Now that you know it wasn't me in the crash, I'll drive safely around the neighborhood.
Thank you. Take the turns at 20 miles per hour.
Probably even slower for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like really. Yeah, that was like really fucked up. And I felt like so, I don't know, like I felt guilty almost because I didn't, like nobody noticed that there was a fire. Nobody even knew, like when they first got called, they just thought that there was a tree on fire. They didn't even know that there was a car with people in it. Someone just thought that one of the trees was on fire and like that it just
out of nowhere.
That it just caught on fire like from something.
Yeah, he was holding a stick and it turned into a snake. He said, "Don't eat the apple." I ate the apple, and then the bush caught on fire.
Yeah.
I think I saw God. Then I fell asleep on a porch.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So yeah, it was like really fucked up. And I felt really bad because I was like, I heard it happen. And then I just went back to sleep while these kids like literally were like roasting.
That,
but like, I had literally no way of knowing unless I would have left my house and like gone walking down like to the park, like, you know, like a half a mile, which like I'm not going to do at 2 o'clock, you know, like 1 o'clock in the morning.
In the middle of your sleep.
In the middle of my sleep and in the middle of like my sketchy ass neighborhood.
Especially when you know there's probably some crackhead taking a nap on your porch.
Exactly. So I just like, I felt so bad, but I don't know. That was just like messed up.
Can I do another one?
These are majority all your guys's.
Yeah.
I had 2.
There's one left.
Okay.
Are we saving it for the show?
I mean, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm chilling. My tummy's kind of upset.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, it's gonna be fine.
I was gonna say Stella's usually make my stomach upset too.
Really? Aww.
Usually. Oh,
I don't think it's from
pity me.
I don't think it's from the beer. I had a very questionable lunch.
What was your lunch?
So every like Sunday or Saturday we usually make like biscuits and gravy. And so I took some leftover gravy. I cooked some
gravy.
I cooked 3 eggs, put the gravy on top of that, and
damn, bro.
And a piece of ham. 3 eggs isn't that much.
And a biscuit and gravy?
I didn't have any biscuits. The biscuits were thrown away.
Oh.
Waste.
Well, they were left out, and so I had them the next day. They were all hard and gross.
Okay.
But today it was 3 eggs, some gravy, and a piece of ham, some cheese.
That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but I don't know. I think something I ate is not sitting right. So it's either that, which was at like
mixed with the beer,
fucking 10 o'clock, or
eggs, gravy, and beer.
The Jersey Mike's. So
oh god,
I don't know if this is. I feel great from the Jersey Mike's.
We did get different sandwiches.
It's true. You had one more story that I haven't even heard yet.
Okay.
And I'm really looking forward to it.
So,
you need to sage your whole neighborhood, by the way.
Dude, I know. I think I just need to like walk through my neighborhood with sage and like sprinkle crystals everywhere.
Say a prayer. Get a cheese grater.
Which you believe in.
Get a cheese grater. Rub some crystals like.
Grate the crystals like good vibes. Good vibes.
Good vibes. All good vibes around.
But. Yeah, okay, so as of recent, like, I've been taking my dogs to the park, usually every, like, Monday and Wednesday morning before I have to go to work. And usually I'm over there, like, in the morning, like, 9 to, like, 12. I, like, hang out with them there. And so one day I'm over there and, like, I'm just, like, throwing the ball for them. And being a girl in my sketchy-ass neighborhood, like I always kind of like take notes of like who's around me, what kind of cars are around me, what kind of people are around me. I don't know. It's just like habit. Like
the good news is you have Scout and Kukula, and those bitches will defend you.
Yeah, they would fuck someone up. They
would fuck someone up.
For sure. 100% Scout would kill.
For those who don't follow Sophia on Instagram or anything, she's got 2 beautiful dogs, and if you pretend to shoot them with a gun, they attack you at the wrist. They know the kill spot for a human being. So anyone who was dumb enough to approach her at a park and like threaten her is going down in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a chance.
Like we were talking about before, they're purebred cattle dogs. So they're born to
fucking rip and tear.
They're born to take down like
cows.
A Scout especially. Cows. Yeah, like Scout especially. She's purebred.
She's older too, right?
She's older,
so
and
Kukula's
she's like a
better.
bit of a different breed than Kukla. Scout is more bred for taking down like bulls and cows and like big, like fucking huge animals.
So a human's nothing.
So she could take down like you in like 2 seconds easily if I allowed her to.
Yeah, the only reason, because you said, I remember you like pretend to shoot her with a gun and say pew pew. If you do that, she attacks your wrists. And I was like, just kidding. She's still going for my wrist until she goes, okay, Kukula, stop.
Yeah.
And then she stops.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of training, the amount of obedience instilled in these dogs between you and the dogs is like, oh my God, like that's like a life or death kind of trust.
Yeah. So I think that that's really important like between us, like me and my dogs. It's very important that they know like when to protect and when, you know, like that I'm the one that tells them when it's okay and when it's not okay. They are very protective.
Sorry to derail you. You're at the park.
No, it's okay. So we're at the park, and I'm just throwing the ball, and I don't know what, like I had seen earlier, like these two guys, like walking down the park, right? Whatever. And just like, okay, yeah, they're there. And I just kept doing my thing. And I don't know what caught my eye, but I just remember looking up, and all I see is like, you know, like the bottoms of shoes, like on the ground, you know, like someone like who's like laying like on the ground in a bush.
Taking a crack nap.
And yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And at first, like I kind of had tunnel vision. Like all I could see was like the bottom of these shoes. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this person dead? Is this person like fucked up and just like in a bush? Like what is going on? You know, like literally like they were in a bush.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, you know, expanded my vision a little bit, and his friend was sitting next to him, and he was like hitting him like, you know, like wake up. And this motherfucker was not moving, bro. And I was like looking around, you know, like, does anybody else see this? You know, like I'm not the only person at the park, you know, like there's people doing like baseball lessons and like, you know, people walking with like whatever. And I'm like looking around, like, am I the only person seeing this guy like laying in a bush and like his friend like attempting to like bring him back to life or some shit? And so like,
I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
I'm watching.
Gotta pee again.
And
Stella runs through you, man.
Shit.
Yeah, take a dump.
Anyways, so his friend is there like trying to wake him up. He's smacking him, he's jiggling him. He was not moving, bro. Like for like a solid like minute and a half, this guy like was not moving. And I was like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, like he like hit him like really hard, and he like his leg like flew up in the air. And I was like, okay, well,
progress.
At least he's alive. And so I'm just watching, and I'm like, okay. And so he like is shaking him. He's like, dude, you know, like we gotta get up, like something of that nature. The guy, like, I've never seen this before ever in my life. The guy stands up and immediately just like collapses onto the floor.
Passes back out.
And I was just like, I have never seen anybody hit the floor that hard before. Like, jeez. He literally was like standing straight up, and then next second he was just like hitting the ground. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how am I the only person seeing this right now? Like, why is nobody else like acting surprised? And he like, his friend like gets him up, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm not the type of bitch to like call the police on people like just for like whatever, you know, like I'm not a fucking Karen. Like I don't just
for sure.
I don't call the cops on people ever, you know. But I was like, okay, you know, the middle school was literally about to release, and like all the kids were gonna come walking through the park,
see a dead body,
and like, okay, like you don't know, like when people get drunk, like that drunk especially, where you literally can't even stand up.
What time
this
of day
was at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 10 o'clock in the morning. So like the middle school, or it was like 10:30, I want to say, and the middle school got out at like 11 o'clock that day.
Early day.
And yeah, so like now they do like really short days.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you know, if I was a parent, I wouldn't want my child being approached by this drunk ass fucking weirdo. Like who knows, you know? Like you don't know like what people do when they're drunk. Like who knows who these guys are, like what they do. So I was like, oh my God, dude, like do I call the cops on them? Do I just leave it alone? So I'm like standing there and I'm watching, and this guy literally was walking like just like swerving back and forth. He was holding on to trees, like walking.
Fucked up.
And I was like, oh my God, dude. And literally the day before, I had seen 2 people getting arrested at the park, and I walked by because I'm like nosy, and they had a backpack. You have a right to know. Well, yeah, it's like right next to my house, so it's like sketchy when I see people getting arrested there.
You should know.
And so like the day before, literally, I like 2 guys were getting arrested, and they had a backpack with like at least a 24 pack of Modelo like put in this backpack, and the cops had it all out.
Do you think they were underage?
No. So I think it was this, I'm pretty positive it was the same 2 guys that I was seeing that day. And I just saw, for the first time, I just saw them up close enough to like, you know, be able to like see an age on them. At first I thought they were young because they were very short. And I was like, dude, like maybe these are 2, I don't know, like maybe these are 2 young kids and they're like ditching school.
It sounds like 2 young
and like
kids.
Getting shit-faced drunk at the park, and they're getting arrested, you know, like taken, because the next day they'd be back. So I'm like, okay, you know, like, I don't know, you know, like something must be happening, like where they're getting back out of jail and shit. So I like, I'm watching them, and right as I turn around, a cop comes rolling up to the park, and I was like, perfect, I don't even have to call them, right? So I'm watching, and they're walking this way, and the cop is walking this way, right? And they walk directly into the cop, and I'm like, okay, cool, you know, like there's no way that the cop is gonna like not notice how fucking drunk they are. The cop stands there, and like he talks to them for maybe like 2 minutes. And then he just like, oh, okay. And then he just like leaves. He walks away and he leaves, gets in his car, and literally drives away and lets the guys go.
Useless.
Literally, I was like, dude, I cannot believe I just saw that with my own eyes. Like if that was like anybody else in any other situation, like I feel like you'd just be arrested right on the spot for being like that drunk in public. Yeah, like that's a thing, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, there is no way that cop couldn't have been like, oh, I didn't know. Like, he literally could not even stand up without, like, holding himself up on something.
Did it seem like they were, like, harassing the cop? Because I think...
No.
Yeah.
I don't even think they were that, like... I don't even think they could have harassed the cop in that state of mind. Like, you know? Like, they were so fucking drunk, dude.
So, do you want a beer?
And so, I don't know if, like, the cop didn't find any alcohol on them so he couldn't do anything, or like what the circumstances were, but someone definitely called the cops on them, you know, like for the cops to have come and shown up at the park and known directly where to go and everything, but he didn't do anything. And I was just like, okay, so they just went and sat down on the bench. Literally, they were so drunk they couldn't even pick their heads up off the table. Like once their head went down, like they couldn't even, like he would just like...
Real quick, you said they looked... You thought they were younger, but
I thought they were younger.
Older?
So then, okay, so after that happened, I was going to work that night, and I saw them getting arrested. Like when I was leaving to work, I saw them getting arrested again. So that would be 2 days in a row that they got arrested. And so after that, like I didn't see them at the park for a little while. And then yesterday, what day was yesterday? Monday?
Monday.
Literally yesterday, I'm at the park, and sure enough, dude, I see the 2 guys walking, and like you can just tell, like by the way they're dressed, by the way that they're walking, by the route that they're walking. Like I pick up on people's routines very, like, I don't know, like very quickly, I guess. And I was just like, dude, like, that's them. And of course, I'm like looking at the time. I'm like 10 o'clock, like right on time.
Jesus.
But this time, like, they weren't drunk yet. Like, they were just walking normal, right? And so I was like, dude, like, just me, like, being, you know, like, Snoopy and shit. I was like, dude, I have to see these guys' faces. Like, I have to see who they are, you know? Like, they've gotten arrested, like, 3 to 4 times already at this park. And, like, how do I not know who these people are, you know?
Could you imagine getting arrested the same... What are you in for? I've been arrested 6 times at the same park.
At the same park, in the exact same spot.
For the same thing.
Literally, like, I'm not even kidding you. They hide the backpack in the exact same spot. They sit in the exact same spot. They walk the exact same route, like every single time I see
organized crime these days.
So I just like put my dogs on the leash, and I was just like walking, and sure enough, there they are with their Modelo's in their hand. And I watched them earlier. One of them goes to the bathroom. One of them goes off into the bush. So they come early in the morning.
They got it planned
and
out.
they hide their backpack full of Modelo's in the bush. So one of them goes to the bathroom and does like whatever he does. One of them goes to the bush and gets out the beers and like opens them. And then they just sit there on the bench and just like go over to the bush. Every time they finish a beer, they just like go to the bush and get a new beer and like bring it back. And then they just get like shit faced at the park.
Just drink at home.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, dude, like
start a podcast.
It doesn't look like they're homeless because, you know, like they don't bring anything with them.
How old do they look? I want to know
They look like maybe in like their 40s. Maybe they're
That's so sad.
They're mid
That's
to like
so sad. Remember when I talked about eating like drive-through in a parking lot? That's way more sad.
That's way more sad.
Yeah. So I walk by and
I've
of
been
course
arrested 4 times.
they're creepy ass fucking males and they're all, "Oh, hello. Hi, how are you? Oh, how's your day going?" And I'm just like,
are they white dudes?
no, they're Hispanic. Mostly like the majority of people who hang out at that park are Hispanic. I don't know, like it's just the majority of people who hang out there are Hispanic in that specific area that they hang out. The tables that we were sitting at, like by the barbecue, that's literally where they were. I will never go there ever again. Like
that's where I want to go though.
You're like, yes, we can meet the weirdos.
Not to meet the weirdos, but like
to see all this shit go down.
I want to barbecue at the park, man. I want to feel normal and barbecue at the park.
We can barbecue in my backyard.
That's down too. I'm down with that.
But yeah, so of course they're like super creepy, like switch their positions on the bench just to look at me, like type shit, all smiling.
Tag me in Holmes.
Hello, like how are you? How's your day? Oh, good. Like, oh, hello. And they're all smiling at me and shit. And I was so tempted to be like, oh, aren't you the guys that get arrested every other day? Like, I was just like, oh yeah, okay, like I'm good, thank you. They're like, oh yeah, like oh. And I'm like, dude, like, you're about to get arrested in like 2 hours. Someone is going to call the cops on you guys. Like, yeah, it was crazy. So that's like the new thing at my park is like these guys just come and get like shit-faced drunk at my park and then get arrested like every other day.
It sounds to me like those guys are stuck in high school.
Like, yeah, and they're very short. Like they're very short, dude. Like I'm like, dude, maybe you should stop drinking so much alcohol so you could not be short anymore. I don't know if that's how it works. But I don't know. I'm just like, you guys look too young like 40, to be drinking that much alcohol.
At 40, you're not having another growth spurt for sure.
Sucks for them. But yeah, so that's like my new thing. Like when I go to the park, I'm like, okay, who's gonna get arrested today? Like, what crazy thing is gonna happen today?
Mexicans.
Oh no, don't do that. But yeah, so that's like the new thing. So that's what I have to look out for every time now that I go to the park. It's just like drunk males very early in the morning harassing me or just harassing people in general.
Damn, dude. I don't know what to say. Just keep Kukula.
Yeah. So I like
leash.
they are very protective. Kukla is very protective. Yeah. Like she doesn't let any dogs, any people, anything, squirrels, birds. Like she doesn't let anything come.
Dude, when we walked through that one day, she stood at that tree for like a good 20 minutes waiting for that squirrel to come down.
Oh yeah, like
she was gonna fuck that thing up.
She'll fuck something up. Like if she really gets the chance, like she would fuck something up.
She wanted to, yeah. She wanted to bring it to you as a present. She's like, "Hey, Sophie, look what I got you." Dead
My
squirrel.
Cat does that.
You got a cat too?
I have a cat. Yeah, now I have a cat.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
So he kind of like adopted us.
I hear that a lot.
He was.
This cat just showed up and we fed it. Now it won't fuck off.
Taking
pretty
in
much.
Strays.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like one day he just kind of like showed up in our neighborhood, and one of my neighbors kind of like claimed him, and he was never like an indoor, like he never really went inside unless it was like his like choice. Like he would be like, okay, fine, like I'll go inside for a second. But he was mostly an outside cat. He pretty much owned the neighborhood. Like
Baller.
He would, I don't know how he would do this, but somehow, like you've seen my house, right? Like the 2-story houses. He would somehow get on the top of 2-story houses, and we would come home. Like, I remember this so clearly. Like, we would drive up and he would be sitting at like the highest point, tip top of the house, and he would just sit there and just like, you know,
survey the land.
Survey the land, and just like,
all the light touches is my kingdom.
Just gonna say that. Like, he was like, this is all mine. I own it all. Like, this is my neighborhood.
That's badass.
And he pretty much did. Like, he owned the neighborhood. He would fight any cat that came into our neighborhood. He would fight it and like make sure that it knew that he was the dominant. It was his neighborhood, and it was run like however he wanted it to be run.
It's actually badass.
So he was really badass. Like, and he would jump. We would see him jump like from the tip-top house to the next tip-top house. Like, he was savage. Like, he just didn't give a fuck about anything. So he just kind of like whatever. And then these people found a dog also, or like adopted a dog or whatever, and the dog was really crazy, and he did not fuck with the dog at all. And so he pretty much just like packed his bag.
The dog was like, this is my neighborhood now, and the cat's like, yes,
the cat
sir.
was like, fuck you can have the house, but the neighborhood is mine.
Yeah, I lost the battle, but I didn't lose the war.
Exactly. So he kind of just like moved out, and my dad like really didn't want a cat, but there was this annoying ass bird who would chirp outside of our house at like 4:00 in the morning, and it would always wake us up. And one day the bird stopped chirping, and Andrew had the bird in his mouth on our front porch. Well, we didn't name him Andrew. It's very sophisticated.
Okay, hold up.
He's a sophisticated
You didn't
cat.
name the cat Andrew. You just knew that who was his name?
No, they named...
He's like,
okay,
I'm Andrew. I will survey your house.
No. They named him the stupidest name. L.O. Andy. Little Orphan Andy. Okay? Who the fuck names their cat Orphan? Like, Little Orphan Andy.
It is an orphan.
Okay, but that's like, you just don't... They put that on his tags and everything. I was like, that's just like fucked up.
That's just degrading.
We just started calling him Andrew because he's sophisticated. He jumps from house to house. Like, he's a sophisticated cat.
Sometimes Andy.
Sometimes the street name he goes by Andy, you know?
That's a good reason.
So yeah.
I like that.
So Andrew, he brought us the bird, and he literally killed the bird that we were like so hating outside of our house.
That's awesome.
And my dad was just like, all right, maybe we can have a cat.
The one benefit of a cat.
Yeah. So yeah, I just like came home one day, and he was just like inside our house. And ever since then, he's just like lived with us. So it's been maybe 5 or 6 years that he's lived with us.
Isn't it so crazy that humans will be like, dear cat, if you kill that bird that chirps at 4 a.m,
So stupid.
I'll continue to feed you.
Yeah.
And the cat's like, yeah, dude.
Like, fuck yeah, 2 meals in one? All right.
Can I keep the bird? Yeah.
Fuck yeah, all right.
I don't care if you keep the bird. I don't want the bird. Just kill the motherfucker. He's loud.
Like, that's like a sign of like respect. Like, when cats bring you
it's like a present
stuff, it's like a sign of like respect. It's like they trust you, and they like, you know, they want to feed you or whatever. You know,
I will
like,
kill all the birds.
So
at 4 a.m.
then
for
he
you,
started
sir.
like anything he would kill, he would bring it directly to our house. He would just walk right past those people's house.
You imagine?
And
you have a cat kill something in your backyard, and you're like, oh, where you going?
And he's like taking it to us. Yeah. That was literally what would happen. So
big boss moves.
He's a big boss. So where was I going with the cat story?
Big boss.
Yeah, he's a big boss. But basically, yeah. So yeah, like
killed everything outside.
He kills everything. He is super chill. Like, he just
just does cat shit.
He's a cool guy.
And that's how you got a cat.
And that's literally how I got a cat, was because he killed a bird outside of our house and decided to move in. So now he's like,
could you imagine? What if I showed up to your place and I was like, blah, here's a bird. You got a guest room?
I'm moving in. You're feeding me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I like warm milk in my bowl. I only eat canned food.
Yep.
Here's a fucking bird.
Pretty much.
That's your rent.
Yeah.
At least cats earn their keep, you know?
Yeah, like my dogs, they don't do shit.
Yeah.
They're just like,
well, they protect you from the.
Okay.
From the
Yeah, they
of the
protect me
park.
from the crackheads, but
Your dog's the private security outside of the house.
right. Okay.
Cats
okay.
are private
This is
security
true.
in the
This
neighborhood.
This is true. So yeah, now he just like owns the neighborhood and he just hangs out and like he's mostly an inside cat now, which is really surprising.
You should just start getting a bunch of animals. Like get like a bird next and see.
Dude. I want to get another dog.
Get a bird and see if he flies to your neighbor's house and brings you their paper.
And
then every animal you have, it just develops the character trait of
bring me things.
Yeah, we own this shit.
Just like fuck.
You get like a pet monkey. It brings you like a new car. You're like, where'd you get this? He's like, thanks for the
Grand
free food.
Theft Auto. Like I don't know.
You're
He just brought it to me one day.
He's like, I sleep in your tree, bro. The least I could do is get you a new Kia. Are you kidding?
You're running a fucking mafia.
Yeah, like out of my animals. I could. That's my next.
That's your
my
Twitch
next
channel.
That's my next show. Is my illegal show that I just like get my animals to do things for me.
Here's our haul today, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, what did my animals get me today? I like bring my dogs as like service dogs. I'm like, grab that. Put it in your pouch, and they're like,
could you imagine
like putting stuff secretly in their pouch?
Some dogs do. What's that? I've seen the guy who has like a falcon trained. It's like someone in India. He goes and he like whistles at someone on their motorcycle. A falcon will fly up, land on him, and run back, and will like be like a wallet or keys. And then he just gives the falcon like a treat, and he's trained the falcon to like pickpocket people.
Dude, that's genius.
Because everyone on India is driving like a moped or a motorcycle.
Yeah, so they have just stuff like stuck in their pockets.
Yeah, so they just have it right there. So he goes, and he comes back, gives him a treat. Here's a wallet, sweet.
Can't convict a bird, can you?
Hell no.
You're like, I don't know, my bird just fucking brought me
Finders
this.
keepers.
I don't have any control.
And that's the thing. Like, even I would be like, oh fuck. It fell out while riding.
Yeah.
Like I would never
100%.
think twice.
You're like, oh yeah, that bird stole it from me.
Bitch. And this guy's so confident he's recording it on his phone.
Dude, that's
posting it online.
That's crazy.
People
I want
train crows to do that.
Okay. I don't think I could ever own a bird. I think my dogs and my cat would kill it.
That's the thing, though.
Multiple times.
Here's the thing.
Like my dogs would kill it, and then my cat would kill it.
You got to have land, sea, and air, right? You're gonna have your whole military of pets.
You're right. I have to have levels.
You got to have the Air Force, which is your bird.
You're right.
Let's just say, I don't know, special forces, like cats.
Cat for sure.
They're doing all like the birds and the gophers and shit. And then like the private security, let's just say, what is it, like Army, military, Marines? Like those are your dogs.
That's Scout as a Marine.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. And you got all your branches of military and all the trained pets.
Yeah.
It's like that's a supervillain power right there. Like
maybe that's what I'm meant to be in my life, is like a supervillain.
Maybe
I'm just like meant to like lead animals into like destruction.
The mother of dragons, but with like
just random animals.
Yeah, just the mother
like
of
the household
pets.
Animals.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I have like hamsters, and they're like digging holes into like banks
Could you
and stuff.
imagine?
Like, yes.
Ruining
Stealing
infrastructure.
Dude.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting ideas
Then
here.
you have like a capybara just like ruin the stock market.
What is that?
The world's largest rodent.
A capybara?
Yeah.
It's like
what does it
That's
look
a
like?
really big rat.
They have no
Ew.
They're actually pretty cute.
Do you remember?
No, they're not.
You know what one of my fondest memories of you is? I think you know.
I don't want to say, but go ahead and say it.
The rats in the trash can. Okay, so I've seen those before. They're like little like pigs.
Yeah, they chill it with like alligators and stuff. They're not like
they're like really scary.
Yeah, they have no natural predators though.
Yeah. No, I've seen those before.
Even alligators are like, you chill.
Yeah, they're like, fine, we won't fuck you up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my fondest memory of him. So
I learned to whistle because of that job.
Yeah, at the trash can. Okay, when I first started, they had a mad rat problem at Panda in the trash cans in the back. And I just remember, like, I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to go take the trash out. And they were like, no, like, have Alec go with you. And I was, like, I'm a bad bitch. I don't need a man to come with me. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'll fuck someone up, like, if they come, And they're like, no, like, seriously, like, you want Alec to go with you. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I let him come with me. And he's like, wait.
allowed me.
He's like, wait, don't go yet. And I was like, why?
I told you to stand where you could see the
he was
most
like, stand right here.
in the corner.
And all of a sudden, he lets out this whistle like that. It was like Ratatouille. I'm not even kidding, bro.
Literally,
it was
like,
the most
rats.
amount of rats I've ever seen come out of one single spot in my entire fucking life. They were just like, all like just lines of them.
Do you still have the video of the snake?
I do.
I bet you someone.
They hired the snake, bro.
Show him the picture of the video of the snake if you can.
Oh, that's gonna take me a second to find.
Don't worry about it then. But like, I told you, right? I was like, I bet you they got the snake there to get rid of the rats.
No, they did. I found out like just recently that they hired the snake.
How do you hire a snake?
They were like,
it's freelance.
What do you pay a snake in?
Rats.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like he got to eat for free.
That's insane.
Hundreds of rats.
But like, who?
I'm pretty sure.
Is it a company?
So like, you know, like the people who own. So someone owns Natural Cafe and Panda, like that property.
Yeah.
Someone owns it. Mm-hmm. So I think it was that guy. He brought a snake onto the property.
Well, I told the corporate people, I was like, yo, because they chewed up my headlights. And then
then they were like, "Oh, you don't know that it was rats for sure.
Yeah,
and that it was our rats."
And they were pieces of shit about it. And then I was like, Ringo has pictures. Ringo showed them the pictures, and they're like, "Hey, we'll reimburse you."
Oh, they did?
They wanted to, but I only fixed it, and I didn't have pictures.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that they actually were like, okay.
Well, they wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I think they knew
I remember
I'd be like,
it was. I'm not gonna say names. Like,
if we had pictures, then I could sue them.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
As soon as they knew Ringo had pictures, they're like, "Hey,
yeah, like, oh hey,
just so you know,
no worries, we got you.
We'll pay you back."
Pieces of shit, dude.
And I was like, I got it done. My brother did it. It was like a copper wire.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't expensive.
Yeah, but other people too. Like, it wasn't just you. There was like other people whose
a bunch of people,
whose
like customers too, probably
cars were getting their fucking like wires chewed
that's why
by these rats.
That's why I parked by the Del Taco.
Yeah, same. I only park by the Del Taco now because I'm like, dude, fuck that. So recently,
because now you're gonna get a snake in your fucking engine.
Yeah, dude. And so they got rid of the snake. So now, like, it's raccoons apparently that come into our trash can. And one of my coworkers,
because if it's not fucking rats or snakes,
yeah, like, so my coworker said that he went out to the trash can to go throw some trash out, and he like heard something wrestling around in the trash, and he was like, what the fuck? And so he was like, whatever, like, I don't see anything. So he like went to throw the trash in, and he said like a little hand like reached up, and he was like, what the fuck? And he like just came running back. He was like, give me the trash, give me the trash. Yummy. So yeah, it was just like meeting its fiend of Panda Express, I guess. But it's just like it had already rummaged through all the other trash.
You got some sweet sour chicken.
Yeah. Got some teriyaki in there, bitch. Damn. So yeah, and he just like threw it and like ran, and he was like, a raccoon tried to steal my trash. So yeah, we have like raccoons, but
I don't see that as a problem.
No, I think that it was really funny. I was like, I genuinely want a little hand to like reach up. Like, that is like the cutest thing ever. Yeah. As long as it's not like trying to like.
As long as it's not 30 rats.
As long as it's not 30 rats, I'm chilling.
One raccoon.
That was terrifying.
30 rat. Well, 30 rat. Here's my theory on that. Is like, the Black Plague started from rats, right?
Yeah.
So like,
dude, that was just terrifying.
It's like, built into us to be like, oh shit, rats.
Yeah.
Because it killed like, half the world.
They're also pretty destructive.
Well, like, they're really disgusting too. Like, they're
disease ridden. Yeah.
They've got those
raccoons are dirty too.
No, but they're cute.
They're cuter. Yeah.
They are cuter.
They have little like hands and like little.
They basically
and
have
stuff.
thumbs.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're like basically really cute. Rats are like not really cute at all. So yeah, now like I'm very scarred to go into the trash can, but I think of you every time I go to the trash can now.
Aww.
And I tell your story very often.
I think of you every time I take a dump. No, I'm just...
Nice. Yeah, no, I tell your story to the rookies. I'm like, yeah. So that's why you check the trash before you go into it.
You gotta tell them to stomp or slam the gate or learn to whistle.
Yeah, no, I think I like I took all the wood chips, because once you quit, I was like, okay, I have literally like, I can't
no one to clear the path.
Like, I have no whistle, like I can't so I would just pick up the wood chips that were right there and chuck them over, and that would get the rats to go out. But then like all the wood chips ran out.
Really? So. Probably the snake ate them.
Or the wood chips.
He's like, no.
She got rid of all the rats, so it's like, oh, I got all these wood chips.
Get rid of all this stuff. Yeah, that snake was really scary. One of the chicks from Natural Cafe almost got bit by it. Like, she was walking.
Did it nip at her?
Well, she was walking, and it was like just like there, like snaking, and she almost stepped on it, and then she was like, ah, like right before her foot went on it, and like ran away and like hugged me, and I was like, I'll save you, it's okay. Like,
Natural Cafe and Panda together.
Yeah, I was like, I guess we'll just die together, you know? Like, I don't think I'm, like, can protect you from this.
So they just dropped a snake. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure the like, the what do you call it? Like, the landlord. I'm pretty sure he put it, because once, like, we filed a complaint, it was gone.
And, like, if the snake fucked off, it's like, who's responsible for that?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I mean, like,
just goes out the street and gets run over.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like, oh, whatever. It's just like a snake. Like, I don't know who's, you know, like,
for them,
whoever.
the biggest liability is probably biting people.
Yeah, exactly.
How the fuck do you explain that?
You had rats.
That's why, like, as soon as we filed, because we filed, like, a formal complaint, when we had, like, a guest manager at our store, and she was like, no, we have to file a formal complaint. Like, we have to take pictures and, like, send it to corporate and everything. I was like, whatever. And, like, once they did that, the snake was literally gone within, like, 2 days. Like, it was gone. And I'm pretty sure it was, like, the landlord. Like, they said something to the landlord about, like, a snake being on the property. And, like...
And the landlord's like, yeah, like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was like, oh, shit.
That's
he, like,
Jared.
And got it. And, like, because literally, like, no exterminator ever came. No, like, nothing.
It's probably cheaper. It's probably cheaper if they just bought a snake, threw it in some bushes, and fucked off. Till
Get a fucking cat. It's less lethal.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you can't just let a homeless cat, like, just, like,
be there. Give it some chicken.
No, it's really close to the street. Have you been to that Panda Express?
Yes.
It's really close to the street. So I feel like
it could in the store. Hang out.
Like,
they do it at Disneyland.
Oh, that's like sanitary as fuck.
Yeah, right.
Disneyland has cats.
Yeah, on Disneyland property, not in the restaurants.
Yeah, they're also like... They have
know.
like a hardcore 6-week training program.
Yeah, they're like, these are like warrior cats.
Those are seriously Black Ops cats.
So, yeah.
We don't know where they have them.
You know, at Do It Center, in Moore Park, when that was a Do It Center over there, my brother worked at it, and they had cats to eat the rats out of it. But
makes sense.
I just like not at a restaurant.
Not where there's food.
There's cat cafes.
Now
not next to a Chinese restaurant of all things. It's like
look bad stigma.
Yeah, bro, for sure. You know how white people
Panda
are.
is like so high class. I feel like people are like, huh.
The reason I heard
I eat that cat.
The reason I heard Panda Express is so clean is because the owner, what did you say his name was?
Andrew and Peggy.
They want to fight the stigma of dirty Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, but have you been to a dirty Chinese restaurant?
It's better food.
It tastes so fucking good.
Better food.
Okay, so out in like LA County, it's not rated on food.
You get a C.
The restaurants are rated in letter grades instead of just pass or fail.
Okay.
And if you go to like a C restaurant, oh my god, it's the best food ever.
Interesting.
Everything's dirty as fuck, but the food tastes so fucking good.
It's made with love.
You can only imagine.
It's made with struggle. It's like if
my
this isn't good,
my actual sweat and tears and blood is actually in there.
You go back to your country.
If this $7 massive plate of food that's as big as that Lazy Susan doesn't hit, I'm back on the boat.
Ironically, her name was Susan when she moved to the States.
Probably.
Wow. Yeah, I just, now that I've worked in like food, I just like, when places are dirty, I'm like, I can only imagine what your fryers look like, or like what your oven or stove or like looks like, you know?
Well, that's part of the trade, because like you're used to cleaning your areas.
Would you ever transfer to retail?
I think honestly, like, I'm gonna stay at Panda until I like have a career. Like, I cannot do customer service ever again after this job. I can't. Yeah. Or like, you know, like Trust in me, food at least, or like retail, way. You know, like I can like, because what I want to do is nursing. I could definitely do that. Like, I love caring for people, but like I could never work in a restaurant or like imagine again.
You get like signed to like UCLA medical unit and you're like, what the fuck? We have rats? And they're like, Sophie, how do we solve this problem? You're like, I don't know, buy a snake.
Hire a snake.
I know a guy
who can hire a snake. I know a guy who hires snakes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, no, I no more customer service after this.
I feel you on
for
that.
me.
Retail is pretty cool.
Was that what you do?
Yeah.
Where
I transitioned from food.
Where do you work now?
Target.
Oh, of course. That's why you're Target's hiring.
Yeah.
They're always hiring.
Cool. Which Target do you work at?
Camarillo.
Cool.
Right here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, over there.
Right here.
Right here.
In the area.
He's like right here.
We
exactly.
sell Target materials out of his garage.
Nice.
In the
you
area.
could. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
the best
like,
job I've ever had.
I feel like it's cool because you don't really like, unless you're like a cashier, like you don't really have to deal directly with customers.
And if I do, if a guest asks me for something, it's like
obviously you have to help them.
a sale item or like a hot ticket item, and I don't.
Hey,
have
where
it,
are the TVs? The big rectangle thing?
They're over
That
there.
way.
You're like right where it says TV.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. I'm a smart ass. If they ask me for something and I don't have it, I'm just like, I'll check in the back.
And then just never come
I
back.
probably don't have it.
I wouldn't.
I mean, I come back because I'm decent, but I'm like, yeah, I haven't sold it in like 300 days. I don't have it. Sorry.
Like it looks like we don't have it.
Yeah, like sorry.
It looks like after 300 days.
Dude, so we just got rid of the tofu eggplant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people call our store and they're like, oh, like you have the tofu eggplant? I'm like, nah, like we don't have it. We don't sell it anymore. They're like, I just ate it last week. I'm like, well, you're lying because we haven't sold it in like 2 months. So
That's what I'm saying. That dude at the Westlake one was
liar.
like crying, being like, I just had it last week, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we've never had it, bro.
like we
I've worked
actually
here
have
for
never
a year.
sold it at the store.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy how people take that stance. They're like, I had it last week at your mom's? Because it wasn't here.
You're like, so who made it for you?
Yeah, because it wasn't over here, bro.
Yeah, that's like people. I'm like, you're definitely lying because we haven't carried that in our store for like 3 weeks for sure. Like,
It's the best calling out guests like that.
yeah, I'm like, you're a liar. They're like, okay.
My favorite day ever, someone was screaming at Giselle. Screaming at the top of their lungs. And Giselle's like a sweetheart, bro.
Yeah.
She's like, well, fuck you, you're ugly. And Giselle's like a beautiful girl, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, have a nice day. And I was like, Giselle, you're my goddamn hero. Like, I want to say this too. Like, working at the Panda Express with you guys was the best because, like, I think I told you this time and time again, and it was still true to this day, man. Like, you guys were the most kindest, most real people I ever had the opportunity of working with. So thank you. Like, that was the best time I had at Panda Express.
You were like my favorite worker, dude. So
thanks, man.
Ditto.
I mean, Ringo, Renee.
Dude, Renee left.
Did he really? But
Yeah.
there was 3 of them, right? Ringo, Renee, and one more with
No. Rodney
Rodney.
and Ruther.
Ruther, yeah.
It's a lot of R's.
But all of them,
Dude,
bro.
all 3 of them are.
All of them have R
Ruther,
names.
Ringo, and Rodney are all brothers. And they all start with R.
Triplets.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like, they were like, dude, I've never met a cook at Panda Express who wasn't the nicest person I've ever met.
Yeah, dude, why are the cooks so nice?
The cooks are always so fucking nice and humble and down to earth. Jorge's the man, bro. Oscar's the man, bro. You'll never meet someone at a Panda Express who cooks the entrees for a living who's not like
a genuine person.
Yeah, exactly.
No, okay, you know what? There is one person.
Who?
I
got the Newberry Park store.
He actually works at the one in the mall, the Thousand Oaks Mall. He's the cook. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like everyone who works at that store is like
I used to work at that store.
The mall? The Thousand Oaks Mall?
Like I said, I bounced around.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like you didn't like, that wasn't like your store. Like it wasn't like.
You guys were my store.
Yeah.
I just filled in hours at other stores.
So he's like from the mall.
Born there?
He's like, yeah, like he's like low key, like a bitch. Like,
really?
I'd be like asking him, like, okay, waiting, and he'd be like,
What was his name? What was his name?
I'll fight you, bitch.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
How's he doing?
He's good, dude. Him and Martina broke up.
Good. She was way too pretty for him.
I think she quit Panda. She just like stopped showing up for work, I think, is what I heard.
That makes sense, bro.
But they broke up. He doesn't work at our store anymore. He transferred because he was trying to get a promotion to like chef.
I remember.
So he moved to Madeira.
I worked there too.
Yeah. And then, so like we see him occasionally. Like sometimes we have like a Wednesday party Maybe you should come through sometime.
Hit me up, dude. Yeah, I'll come through.
But
on a Wednesday, it's after the podcast for us, so
yeah, dude,
I'll
you
show
should
up
come
turned
through.
up.
Like, yeah, we'll take shots and stuff together.
Fuck yeah, let's
dude,
go.
Ceci, like, you remember Ceci?
I love Ceci, bro.
Yeah,
I went there. I went to you guys' Panda like a few weeks ago. She still hooks it up with a discount.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you always come when I'm not working.
I know. I try to come when you are working, but I don't know your schedule and shit.
Wednesday, Tuesday.
Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's when I work.
We'll figure that out. Let's just focus on meditating and hanging out a little more outside.
Okay.
And
Small
then,
steps.
Yeah, and then I'll work on visiting you at work.
Okay, fine. This motherfucker said, I'm going to visit you at work all the time. He visited me once at work.
I've come.
That's what a lot of people say when they disconnect, come back.
I have come to this Panda Express more than any job I've ever worked at to see you. To see you,
fine,
and you were not there.
It's your fault.
It's my fault for not working full time.
I'm not saying.
Fuck.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
It's your fault.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
It's my fault.
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying I am trying to hang out with you.
I appreciate it,
and it is very hard.
I'm sorry.
Well, now you're here.
And now you're here. So now we figured this out.
We're gonna hang out all the time now.
You said it.
Don't say that, because you're setting yourself up for failure if it doesn't happen.
Because now it's on you.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, right?
No, it's not on me.
Yes,
Last time my fucking power went out, okay? And I was like, I don't have any form of communication.
I wasn't tripping on that, though. That was a weird time. That was like, how crazy. We planned that literally 2 days ahead. And I was like, hey, are you good? And you're like, no, my power's out.
Literally, like,
I need to do shit.
Usually my power... Because, like,
you
live in Moore Park, right, still?
I live right by you still.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you moved or not, but...
I don't know.
So usually, like, in my area, like, we're usually pretty lucky. Like, that neighborhood...
We're right by the power plant.
The power usually doesn't go out where I am, though.
We're right by the power plant.
Yeah, so, like, they don't usually turn our power off. But it was super random. They just, like, randomly turned our power off at, like, 11 a.m. one morning. And, like, yeah, literally half of Moore Park, well, the majority of Moore Park didn't have power except for, like, the gated communities.
I swear to God, everything but my block.
Really?
It was a trip. Because I remember Ryan's power went out. He came by, he picked me up. We just drove around the city to chill for a bit.
Everything was out. Like, the lights were out. The street lights were out.
I swear to God, everything but my block.
The gas station.
And when I say my block, I mean,
dude.
like, just the cul-de-sac I live on.
That is
Remember that
so
time you
weird.
dropped me off that one day?
Yeah.
That was the only thing on.
That's so weird.
Everything else in my neighborhood, off.
So
no,
weird.
No street lights, no power,
yeah, it was
nothing.
Really weird. And so, like, I didn't have power for 2 days straight. And, like, literally half of Moore Park. So, and my portable charger, of course, died after, like, it had, like, 10% on it. So it died. And it barely charged my phone. So my phone was at, like, 20%. And it was, like, a Tuesday. So I work, like, Tuesday mornings. And then I don't go to work until Wednesday nights. So I had literally no way of charging my phone except for, like, sitting in my car. So yeah, I was just like
that's the one. Look, here's what I learned about Panda Express.
You can charge all your devices there.
You can, like Starbucks. But what I've learned is, like, there's bigger things that are important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if someone was like, you got a morning shift and my alarm didn't go off because my power was out, my phone died, like, while working at Panda Express, I'd have been freaking out. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. I got here as soon as I can, whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's like, look, man, in the back of my mind, I know how, like, it's just Panda Express.
Yeah, of course.
Like, look, I'm sorry if a few customers got turned away. But at the end of the day,
you still made $1 million.
Yeah,
today.
At the end of the day, you're still $1 billion company.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like,
absolutely.
Just
like,
chill. Maybe a little.
That was definitely something that
it's a lesson worth learning.
I learned during quarantine because
Facts.
the transition of, like, like our normal to now, like, I was getting so upset and, like, taking things so personally and, like, oh my God, like, this is so serious. And then I don't know, just, like, one day I was just
eventually
like,
you just got to turn it off,
dude, like, it's really not that serious. Like,
yeah.
I took like a vacation because like for a period of time, like it was really bad. Like people were really fucking rude, and like I don't know, it was just something like in the air. And I don't know if Rona makes you like really mean or what.
Everyone's just stressed.
But
Everyone's
yeah,
paranoid.
I mean like, yeah, everyone is just like freaked out and like they don't know, you know, like what's going on and like everything, which I understand, but like to an extent. But people were being really rude. So I was just like, I need a fucking vacation or I'm going to quit. Like I'm actually just going to quit my job on the spot. And so I like took a vacation. And I just like, you know, like did what I did and like just relaxed and like went to Venice and like, you know, like relaxed a little bit. And like, yeah, I don't know. I just came back and I was like, dude, like, I don't know. Like I meditated and I was like, dude, it's not that serious. Like it's really like, I don't know, like the energy that like the vibe that you put out is the vibe that you get back. So like if I'm happy, if I'm like positive for 6 hours a day, that's 6 hours out of my entire 24 hours of my day. Like if I'm positive 6 hours a day, I'm going to get positive energy back to me. And like it's not going to be a shitty shift. And like even if people are fucking rude to me, then like whatever, dude, like that's like 2 minutes of my day that someone is being rude to me. Like I'm not going to sit there and let it affect my entire day. Like I used to, like if someone was rude to me, I'd be like fucking pissed off all day. Like fuck that customer, like that stupid bitch, like fucking ruined my whole day. Now I'm just like, whatever, dude, like fuck you. Like you're the one that's living your life like a fucking weirdo, like getting pissed off at fast food workers for like not giving you enough orange chicken in your plate, or like, like making a human mistake. So now, I don't know, it's just like that's something that I've really like come to term with like since quarantine started. It's
so important.
It's literally, it's not that serious. Like it's your job, which like I take my job serious, but like
but it's not a serious
like, it's
job.
not like it's not like that serious, like where you have to like let it affect
when
like
you're a nurse,
you know,
sure, worry about
like
it.
if I'm like, oh my god, like that person is like freaking out because I gave them the wrong dose, you know, like whatever, you know, like that's serious. But like it's like fucking chicken, bro. Like you can drive your little car back to the store, we can scoop you some more orange chicken and everything is okay. Like it's all good, you know, like nobody's gonna lose their life today.
And that's the crazy thing too, is like it's the company you keep, right? Like I've always heard that expression, like when your manager's like freaking out over little things, eventually you're gonna wake up one morning and be like, fuck, I gotta do this little thing.
Exactly.
And you're gonna feel like this little thing is
exactly
a thorn in your mind until you take care of it. I gotta go fucking make sure I gotta sweep the floor, you know, before they show up, otherwise they're gonna freak out about the rice being in one of the cracks, or like it does get like that. You know,
it like really gets to you. And I was working like 5 days a week, which is like not much to some people, but like for me that was a lot. I went from working like
it's a lot when they demand a lot.
It's a lot like under the circumstances. Like before working 5 days, like just normal, like before Rona, it was like whatever, you know, like you're just doing your shit, like people come and they go and whatever. It's like normal. Now it's like there's so many like, oh, don't touch that, don't do that, don't do this, oh, like da da da, and it like makes you like, I definitely like feel like it's changed my brain so much just from working there. Like don't touch that, like don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, like oh, like don't walk here, don't walk there. Like now it's like I'm gonna be like, that's in my mind like forever now.
It
like,
puts those alarm bells in your head.
Like when I go places, even when it's like, you know, like when I'm at Venice and I'm like, oh my god, why is that person getting so close? Or like, oh, why are they like touching someone else's stuff? And it's like, dude, like I'm not at work, like everything is all good, like I don't need to worry about that shit, you know, like it's not that serious.
A funny story for me was after I quit Panda, I went to this bar called Cronies where when they serve food,
I know that one.
They smack a bell. We gotta go there for drinks because those have like grills. Anyway, they smack a bell. And when I came out of Panda Express, I was fresh out of Panda Express. I was like,
you hear the bell, you're like, thank you.
I wanted to say thank you, because it's like like an innate reaction, like because I had managers who were like, why aren't you saying thank you?
That's me.
And I was like,
sorry.
I toned it out, whatever. Like I was doing something else.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm trying to like ignore you. I'm just busy doing something. And they took it personal. Why aren't you saying thank you when the bell rings?
Yeah.
And that happened so many times to where when the bell rang at a restaurant,
it was just automatic.
I was the customer at I had
and
the,
you're like,
I had the urge to go, thank you.
you're like, ha.
Yeah, it was about to come out of
Yeah.
me regardless.
Yep.
It was just like, it was trained. Like,
Yep.
I'm like, I'm a fucking animal. Like,
PTSD.
It
yeah,
is.
I was like, you can
is.
fucking train me to do this.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking animal.
Yeah. And it's just like, especially like since, you know, you are working there like full time, pretty much.
Basically.
Like,
Just under.
You know, yeah, like an hour under full time.
Yeah.
So they couldn't.
So they didn't get
Yeah.
written up.
Anyways. But yeah, so like, you know, it's crazy like how that stuff really like imprints on you. And like now I carry that shit. But like, I don't know. I've just really been trying to like, okay, you know, like it's not that serious.
It's not.
Like
yeah.
I don't need to carry work everywhere with me. Like, yeah, it is.
And that's where meditation has helped me.
I'm chilling.
He's like, fuck you and your meditation.
Here's the difference between me and him, bro. He will lay down and go to sleep in like 5 minutes.
Oh God.
I'll lay down and go to bed, and I'll be like, fuck. I'll stay up for an hour thinking. Unless I meditate and like, unless I take like at least 20 minutes to like breathe and just clear my mind, I'll be up for an hour being like, oh, that one time.
Yep.
That's me.
That's me too.
So it's like I had to learn how to.
Yeah.
I had to put a saddle on my mind to learn how to write it out, you know?
I don't know. I told him that he should try guided meditations.
Let's meditate.
We should just have a podcast of us meditating.
I'm down.
That's it. That's the podcast. Just
Yeah,
I'm
meditation.
down.
Break. Can we still drink?
Yes.
Yeah, there's one more beer.
We can smoke too.
Fuck, are you down?
That one's for the shelf.
We already have a Stella up there, right?
No, we haven't drank Stella at all.
Never?
Oh, so it's a first?
Fuck yeah, dude. I thought we had Stella already for sure.
Peroni is the closest thing.
I thought for sure we had Stella already.
Nope.
All right, well, you're the first Stella up on the shelf.
The coolest.
I've got to take another wicked piss, and it's been almost...
Dude,
Number
you guys have
almost-
bladders of fetuses.
I only peed once.
Makes no sense.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
For 3 hours. We've been going for almost 3 hours.
We're about to hit
I've
our
peed
third
once.
hour.
You drank 2 beers.
Okay, fine.
I had 7, probably.
Okay, fine. You guys are faster than me.
But not to end it prematurely. I'm down. If here's the options. I can go to the bathroom. I come back. We keep going, or we can end it now. I go to the bathroom and then whatever. We get some food. Whatever you guys want to do. I'm open. But I gotta pee. That's gonna happen in the next like 3 minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna piss the sheets. So you choose right now. Rock, paper, scissors.
Is there anything that you absolutely I wanted to talk about this coming in?
Anything
like
you want to plug, your Instagram, your social media, you want to talk about injustices in the world,
pressing
anything?
issues.
Anything
Follow
you
me
need
on
to-
social media, Sophia Emily.
_?
2 A's
Okay.
on the Sophia.
It'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, this was good.
What do you
Fun as fuck, right? Chilling.
Anything like you advocate for, you support? Like, what are you passionate about?
Veganism, holistic medicine, crystals.
Holistic medicine crystals, bitch.
Smoke
Damn.
marijuana.
Smoke weed.
marijuana every day.
You'd probably get along with my
because-
mom.
I thought your house
Let's-
smelled like weed, bro.
There you go.
I was like, I knew it.
Let's smoke.
Let's smoke some weed. Dude, we should have 2 dudes and a chick smoking weed as a podcast.
2 dudes and a chick says the wrong.
That sounds so bad.
Sends the
Never
wrong
mind.
image.
Never mind. Never mind.
But we can work on branding.
Okay, fine. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Nah, I mean, nah. Just like I live in a weird fucking neighborhood. I think that's what we've come to the conclusion of.
And you work at Panda.
And I work at Panda Express.
So I'll
And I wear
advocate.
crystals on my neck.
I'll advocate for you of the neighborhood watch. Develop it. You could be the
Develop
chairman.
a neighborhood watch.
My mom is the neighborhood watch.
There you go. Public safety is
There
important.
she is. Nah, now everyone has those little like, what do you call them?
The ring doorbells?
Yeah, the rings.
All right, fuck
Everyone
this. I
has
give you a
those now.
chance. I'm peeing.
Okay.
Jesus, it hurts.
We should. I wish I would have.
So bad.
You're so
I wish I
weak.
would have taken tallies of how many times he's fucking peed.
This is number 3.
Let's see. He takes like 30-second pisses. 1,
He went in
2,
there at 53 seconds.
3. Okay.
So we're at 2 hours and 59 minutes. We're at 3 hours.
Okay. Alec,
So it's
the
been
fastest
7
peer in the
plus-
entire
so
world.
10, 14, 15.
I say
16,
he does it under 30 seconds.
17, 18, 19.
You took a fast shit
20.
too. Props to you.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm on a time crunch.
That's something I've trained myself to really do. It's like I squeeze them out.
That's good, dude. That's talent right
I'm
there.
all
dude.
legs. So it's just all my muscles.
Yeah, it's just that's all your shit
squeeze
muscles.
them out.
That's good. That's a good talent. There you go. That's your bio. Josh,
I can shit really fast.
the fast shitter. The fastest
Shit, I'll put that in my
the
dating
world.
profile so I get tons of hits.
Dude, they'd be like, all right, this guy's good.
Probably. I hope. I mean, something. Maybe. Who knows?
Do you have a dating profile?
I haven't been on the apps in a while, but yeah, I still have a Bumble.
I've literally never had one of those ever in my life.
Must be nice.
Well,
Must be really nice.
Fuck.
Must be nice to be loved.
fuck.
Can't relate. I'm coming
But
up
like,
on a year of being single in April.
is it fun?
All right. I mean, I guess sometimes I'm sad. Being alone isn't fun.
Obviously. Well, you're not alone. You have friends.
I mean, I guess, but it's different. It's
Yeah,
like,
you can't like snuggle your friends.
I mean, we can.
I mean,
The companionship.
let's ask Alec about
The
that.
companionship. We snuggle.
He wants to snuggle with you.
No.
Is basically what's going on.
We sleep head to foot.
Josh, have
Oh,
we
so
ever
you
snuggled
69?
before?
We haven't.
You 69?
Yes.
Not opposed to it. I'm
He
into
said
some-
he's sometimes
That was-
lonely.
that was
I said
over a
maybe
minute.
He needs to. Okay, that was not the fastest pee you did today.
No.
No, I know. That was that one actually hurt.
You took your time.
That one.
Is that one was like with the bladder infection causing one?
Yeah, if I didn't go right then, I would have literally leaked the shit. So
Well,
Oh, I'm
it's
so
a good
sorry.
thing
It's
we're
a
in the
good thing
market
you
for a
peed.
new couch.
thank God.
This looks like a mattress that you just folded.
It
in
is.
half.
It's called a
It's a
futon.
futon.
If you don't know already, a futon's like the saddest thing you can sleep on.
Is
Some-
this what you sleep on?
Comedians make
No,
jokes.
my,
I was like,
my room's on the other side of the wall.
This is just the studio, thank
Okay,
God.
okay.
I've-
She's like, "Do you fucking live here? That's so sad."
I've taken over 50% of the house.
Okay. Fair enough.
66%.
Fair enough. Are you an only child?
No, I have a brother, but he's old. He's 4 years older than me.
How
He's
old are you?
old.
24.
Oh, okay, so he's 28.
Yes.
Nice.
Good math.
He will be 29. His birthday's
Okay.
in April.
Okay, cool. And he doesn't live here anymore, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
He moved out.
He lives with
Yeah.
his fiance.
So you're like, okay, I'll just take over
Yes.
the whole upstairs.
Yes.
Nice.
basically.
That's cool. I'm waiting for my brothers to move out so I can do that.
How old are your brothers?
Like all of them or just the ones that live in my house?
Sure.
Well, how many are there? And
Okay, well, I have 4 older brothers.
God damn! No wonder you're such a bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm a dude. Dude, that's why I can take shots with no chaser.
Facts.
Yeah, no, I have 4 older brothers. I'm the only girl. I'm the youngest. So there's me, 21. My next oldest one is, let's see if I can remember. 23. He just turned 23. And then there's 25,
you're a bad sister.
I think. There's so many of them. How am I
So?
supposed to remember?
Sorry.
I remember all of mine.
I'm the autistic one with dates. Sorry.
Maybe I'll tell you all my brothers' birthdays,
I'll
and you can
remember 'em.
figure out
I'll remember
how
He'll
old they
remember
are.
them.
Then you'll remember for me.
Hey, Sophia, your brother's birthday's tomorrow. Make sure you buy a nice gift.
He's turning 25, by the way.
He's super into soccer and fucking, I don't know.
That's a little too much for me, but
Still.
And then I think, okay, so 24 and then 27. And then the oldest one he just turned 30 in October.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah. So there's like
1991.
Nice tight spacing. Your parents were like every two
like 2 years.
2.5 to 3 years.
Pretty much every 2 years.
We could have birthday
they
sex.
Like had babies.
That's so sad.
It's like,
I know, right?
just not want to think about that.
Of course, it's your parents, but we
Your
can
parents,
talk about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Oh,
like
God.
a dude, bro.
That's why I'm a dude.
Burp.
There you go.
3 dudes drinking
And
beer.
that's-
3 dudes drinking beer. There we go.
That is it. That is the name of this. Why were we talking about my brothers again?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for them to move out.
Yeah.
So there's 2 of them that still live at my house. The oldest and the youngest brother still live at my house. So I'm just waiting for them to move out so then I can expand my territory.
Why don't you move out?
I might just move out before them, to be honest, because I'm thinking about moving out like by the end of this year. So
what's your you still want to go into nursing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like you gotta go to school still? Or?
Yeah, so first I want to get like my medical assistant certificate type thing, and that you just go to like adult school, and you can get that in like 6 to 9 months.
One of those like
trade
type programs.
Yeah, like type shit. And then I can start working in like a doctor's office or like, you know, like wherever. And then like the more experience I get, there's a lot of people who like they start as a medical assistant, and they like, if you get a really good job and you get someone who really likes you, like they offer to pay for your like nursing school to be.
I've seen a lot of people do that and turn it down. If someone offers to pay for your schooling,
I'm gonna take it for sure.
May I be the first person to say do that shit, because oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, like that's absolutely what I'm going for. Like I definitely want to get a foot in the door and like meet people, and like, you know, like I already, when I was in high school, my junior and my senior year, I interned at a urgent care, and I pretty much like by the end, like by my senior year, I was pretty much doing like everything that they were doing. Well, not everything, obviously, because, you know,
like
like liabilities.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I would take patients back into rooms. I would take their blood pressure, their temperature. You know, I would get like their initial like complaints and everything. I learned how to put that stuff into like the system. So then the doctor, like, you know, when the doctor goes in and like he's looking at his computer, oh yeah, so like you have
so
this
you
and
think
this
you're
and
gonna
this.
die?
Yeah, so that's me. Like I'm like, okay, this person definitely gonna die. I like, you know, would take their medications and like stuff like that and put it into the system. So that was like pretty much what I was doing. Like by the end of my senior year, I was doing that like 4 days a week. So I really loved it. So that's definitely what I want to like go back to doing.
What is it about that you enjoy so much?
I don't know. I like, since I was a kid, I've always loved taking care of people. Like,
and you had four stupid older brothers.
Yeah, and I had
like,
4 dumbass like, older brothers.
Here's some alcohol and a Band-Aid,
I would always
pussy.
Like take care of them and like whatever. I don't know. Like I guess I'm just a naturally like caring person. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom, she had a full knee replacement. I took care of her the entire time she was recovering. I was basically like her physical therapist pretty much left like her instructions with me, and like I was like her physical therapist every day. So I don't know, like something about that, it really calls to me. Like I feel like I'm meant to do something that like helps people, like is meant to like care for people and like something like that. So I think that nursing will take me in that direction. Even if that's not what I like end up doing, I think that it'll definitely take me down like that direction that like is calling to me. I don't know. Oh
yeah. Do you feel like a sense of fulfillment, or like you just I want to know, you know?
I mean I don't know, like people I care about, I guess.
Are you
like,
just good at it?
People I maybe, I guess, I don't know, like I guess I think like, you know, like when I care about someone a lot, like I just want to care, like I want to take care of you, like I want to like,
I got you, fam,
you know, like if you were to like get fucking like in a car accident or something, like God forbid,
you'd text me and be like, was that you?
Was that you? I'm caring for you, okay? No, like, you know, like, or like, you know, like when, for example, like when my mom or like my dad, he got into a really bad accident, like at the beginning of quarantine, like just a couple months ago, he got into a really bad accident, and it was just like, it felt like I needed to be there to like care for him, you know, like even though they didn't ask me, like my mom was there taking care of him. Like I just felt like I needed to be there to like take care of him. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's just like my calling. Like, I know you don't believe in like stuff like
Bird, but like, fuck you.
Who said that?
Bitch. My crystals are telling. No, I'm just kidding.
She's feeling your vibe, bro.
No, but like I just feel, I don't know if you believe in that. Like
empathy.
No, but like a
you
like
for sure don't believe.
I don't believe in empathy. That was a
no,
that was
like
a
a calling, like, you know, like you really feel like the universe is like trying to tell you like that's where you belong.
I really wanted to do film, and then the universe was like, "Nah, go fuck yourself." So now I'm doing business.
Or they were like, or it was like,
I literally applied for every single not even
okay, well maybe that's just not what you were supposed to do.
PA position. And when I lived in North Hollywood for a whole
but
last
look at where
year,
this is taking you.
Yeah, I have a show now.
Exactly.
I'm
So
an alcoholic.
that's the universe like showing you like that wasn't what you were meant to do. Like this is taking you down
drink
a
more and
completely different
relax.
path. Yeah, like you're enjoying yourself drinking beer now, like when you would have been like
and just hanging out
2 times a week,
doing something that like didn't bring you that much joy, you know.
And now Target's my new love.
Yeah,
exactly.
man, but like, yeah, and if you like
I don't
the
know.
business side of that,
I truly
that's
believe
cool.
in that. Like, I really believe that, like, the universe pulls you, or like whatever you believe in. You know, for me, I believe in the universe. Like, I really truly believe that, like, your life is like on a path, and like, you know, like you're meant to do something in this world.
Shit. Do you believe we have a soul?
Yes, of course. Oh shit. I definitely believe in
How
like,
crazy is it that I said that and then
that was really
broke?
weird. It'll go back on, don't
broken?
worry. Don't stress. No.
Seems pretty cheap.
Seems not cheap because it's back on, bitch.
The rock costs a lot.
Allegedly.
This is actually a silver chain, so it was not cheap.
Damn, what up, Tiffany?
Silver stocks are only like $27 right now. Silver's pretty cheap.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Bitch.
Gold is more expensive. Just saying.
Whatever, I don't care. Whatever. I'm not trying to flex,
Let
okay?
me
If I
ask-
wanted to flex, I would have worn my gold.
Let me ask, who introduced you to crystals and all that? What got you in that scene?
Well, it started maybe like a year. I guess it's been like a year and a half now, almost 2 years. I got into a really bad car accident.
I remember that.
Yeah. And
you have pictures of that? I know you have pictures of that. You were fucked up.
Yeah. I got into a really bad car accident. I broke a rib. Like my face was like super fucked up.
That guy who thought your boyfriend was abusing you?
Yeah. So, yeah, oh God.
It was a mess, man. It was a mess.
Yeah, like I had a fat ass black eye, and a customer at work thought my boyfriend was abusing me, and I just didn't want to speak up for myself. And I was like, bitch, do I look like the type of bitch that would let a fucking man abuse me? Like, are you kidding me?
I have 4 brothers.
Anyways, bitch. But yeah, like I got into a really bad car accident. This is gonna sound super cheesy, especially to you.
Burn.
But like,
especially to you, smooth
but like,
brain looking motherfucker.
Scientific bitch. But I don't know, like I got into the car accident and I had gotten this sounds so stupid when I say it out loud.
To have the accident?
No.
The universe was like, hey, you could use the fucking black eye right now.
Fuck you, bitch. Haha. I don't know, like I got a fortune cookie at work. Okay, this sounds so ridiculous when I'm reading it, when I'm like saying it out loud. But I got a fortune cookie and like it had said like
duck.
Be
Oh
it
no.
said like
Car.
be thankful for like something. Like it was like be thankful for like the things that you have in your life or whatever, right? And I hate you guys so much, bro. So after that accident, I had gotten the fortune, right? And I was like, what the fuck do I have in my life to like be thankful for? I have a broken ass rib. My face is fucked up. Like my whole money maker. Like,
okay.
bitch. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I was struggling and like I had lost my, like, cause I got in the accident with my best friend and like low key, like, I kind of
told me, well, she blamed you or so.
Well, I
shit,
kind of
right?
like blamed her for like the accident, and like some of my belongings had gotten broken in the accident.
May I interject real quick and just see if we can sort this out? I remember you got in the accident and you filed a claim to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
To get like X-rays and shit.
Right.
Because you had the broken rib and the black eye.
Right.
And you did it through her insurance.
Right.
And she got mad at you because she was like, it's not my fault.
Well, okay, so kind of, yeah. So, like, obviously, like, when the accident happened, I turned down I didn't feel like I needed to go in an ambulance because first
Adrenaline.
of all, ambulances are fucking expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, like I was just like, there was so much adrenaline going through my body. Like all I knew that was wrong is that like my eye was bleeding, and like I was like, okay, whatever, you know, like you can just put a fucking Band-Aid, like yeah, I'm gonna have a black eye, whatever. We were on our way to Arizona, you know, like it wasn't like we were just, you know, like just going to hang out, like driving, whatever. Like we were on our way to Arizona, like we had hotels booked, like we were going to a competition, like, so some of my belongings were broken in the accident, and like she was at fault. Like at the end of the day, like she was at fault. Like she is being sued to this day because of the accident. Really? Because she was at fault technically, you know. Legally, she ran into the back of another car. So technically that's your fault, automatically, you know. You know, like they had already gotten into a car accident before we even got there. We just like it was a weird, you know, it was weird. But like, so I was like, okay, you know, like I could go through her insurance and I could file like a claim and through her insurance and like, you know, get my belongings replaced, or I could just ask her, you know, like friend to friend, like, would you mind paying for half of it? I'll pay for the other half, you know, like, cause I understand. And basically like she came at me like saying like, okay, you know, like you're lucky you're alive, like type shit.
I basically saved your life.
I have a lot of financial burden right now and you don't understand, and like basically like you're just lucky that you're alive and like you shouldn't be asking me for this,
bitch. And
so since the items that I had I wasn't legally allowed to have until I was 21,
gotcha.
I physically couldn't file them for her to like her insurance to pay. So I was like, okay, you know, like that was just like a big fuck you to my face, you know, like yeah, I'm alive, but like my body is fucked. Like to this day, like I still have back issues.
Me
like,
too.
I still like,
not special.
I still like will feel pain in my, you know, because a broken ribs don't heal, you know, like they stay painful forever. And like, yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, I just found it really fucked up. So I had lost a really good friend, like she was my best friend, and like I was just like really like I blamed her definitely for that accident. So I really like had no one except for my boyfriend. And like, yeah, like it's nice to have a significant other, but like when you literally don't have any friends, like it really takes a toll on you. So I was like, bitch,
all the dog memes, dude.
No, like not like that, but like, you know, like a girlfriend, you know, like it's different when you have a friend that's a girl or like a friend that's a dude, you know. It's like we wouldn't do the same. Me and you,
two bitches drinking wine.
Exactly. So it was just like really hard, and like I was really going through it, and I don't know, I like got that fortune one day out of the blue, and I was just like, whatever, you know, like what the fuck do I have to be thankful for, like type shit, you know. And then like a couple weeks later, and I was at a period of time where like I kept my fortunes for some reason. Like I would put them in a jar. It was really weird. I like put them in a jar and I like kept them. And so I like, whatever, I like put it in the jar and was like, whatever, I don't know what the fuck I should be thankful for. And then like maybe like a week, 2-3 weeks later, I remember like I came home and I like sat down on my bed, and like something had happened that day that I was just like, I felt like really blessed, like for it to have happened for me, you know? And I was just like, I don't know, I thought back to the fortune that was telling you like, if you're thankful now, you're gonna like, it's gonna repay you later. And like from the time I got the fortune, I was like, okay, you know, like I'm just gonna be thankful for everything I have in my life. Like even if it's just like stupid, you know, like, oh, that the sun is shining today, or like, you know, that my dog is being nice to me today, or like whatever, you know, I was just like, I'm gonna be thankful for it. So then like 3 weeks later, like something like had happened, and I just remember I like sat down on my bed and I like started crying, and I was just like, I don't know, like it spoke to me like in a totally different way that like, and then I just like kind of started getting more into like spiritual like type of things, and like meditating and like crystals and stuff like that, and like the benefits and everything. And I like invested in a bunch of crystals, and yeah, ever since that day, I've just been like very like on a spiritual journey.
So essentially that car accident
was really like a turning point, like in my life, like oddly enough. Like
I feel like a lot of people have that.
Like, at the time, like I wasn't, like I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And like, you know, but then it kind of just like, I don't know. It was like a waking, like I woke up from something, you know, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
It's not even cold.
Perspective.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, like, I don't know. It wasn't even that like specific thing. It was just like me realizing that like there's so much in our lives to be thankful for every single day. And like, there is stuff speaking to us everywhere, you know, like everything I feel like in your life is meant to be there for me.
I want to go back to that speaking to us real quick. What is, let me
vibes.
Yeah, let me open the floor for you.
Okay.
What speaks to me is when I meditate, usually I have this moment of clarity. Not during the meditation so much, but after the meditation.
Post nut clarity.
Well, yeah.
Kinda.
I guess so, yeah. But like there's this real moment of just like, wow. And it's like that moment of like, oh, it's not that serious.
Yes.
Or that realization of whatever it is, I come to the conclusion of what sticks out to you the most since that car accident where you're just like, okay, well, this is like a truth.
I don't know. Like sometimes, like I'll notice like myself doing things or like thinking a certain way. And I'm like, hold on a second, you know, like that's not it right there, you know, like that's not what I'm like supposed to, you know, like that's not what I'm like, that's not what I should be thinking, or like that's, you know, like I'm on a different type of journey, you know, like I'm not like, I don't know, like rephrase your question. I don't know, like what
has it given you like do you have like a motto or a phrase to like live by? Like
no,
you can't sum it up in a sentence.
Be a bad bitch.
All right, that's good. I mean, that's good.
I don't know. I feel like nothing in this world is that serious. Like if that's my motto, like nothing in this world is that serious. Like people,
if it
like
costs you your
especially,
peace, it's not worth it.
Exactly. Like a lot, you know, like I'm very much into like the fitness, you know, like I'm surrounded by people who are like fitness dedicated and stuff like that, you know, and I see tons of girls like, oh, you know, like, oh, I can't eat that. Oh, I don't eat that, you know, like it's not my diet, like this and that, like the, oh, like the, I'm like, dude, like you're not going to be able to eat fried chicken when you're fucking dead, bro. Like, why would you go through your entire life not enjoying something that you know, like not having something that you enjoy for what?
So you work out daily then, right? Like
most of the time.
Okay, let's just say you work out 5 days a week.
Okay.
Are you saying like as long as you work out 5 days a week, you can enjoy those things in life that
in moderation
most people feel afraid of?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like obviously, like diet has a lot to do with like your physique and like your weight and everything like that, no doubt about it. But I just feel like, why sacrifice something that makes you like that you enjoy and never ever eat it ever in your life because you just like want to be skinny, or like you want to have abs, or like you know you want to be healthy or whatever, you know? It's like, why the fuck would you do that to yourself?
You're
like,
saying you can have both.
Yeah, you can definitely have both in moderation, you know? Like you can definitely enjoy like one donut if you have it like, you know, like once a month, or like, you know, like once every other whatever, you know, like, but you know, it's like, what? Yeah, like you're working out, you're staying healthy, like the other 6 days of the week you're eating healthy, you're, you know, like you're doing the shit that you need to do, you're working out. Like why deprive yourself of those things for what, like, for what? Just because
you're scared.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to possibly gain weight, or you don't want to possibly be seen as unhealthy because you eat a donut. Like,
right. And like, what's the threshold?
Who the fuck cares, dude? Like, it's literally just you. Like, you're the only person who cares. Nobody else in your life gives a shit about what you're eating, how many times a day you're exercising, like, whatever, nobody gives a fucking shit. And at the end of the day, like, you're the only one that has to be okay with, like, the shit that you're doing for yourself. You
gotta bear the burden.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to bed tonight saying like, oh my God, Sophia ate a donut on her way over here. Like, she's never gonna lose I did. Well, that's why we're talking about donuts.
Awesome.
But that makes it
more true.
You're not gonna go to bed tonight like sitting there thinking like, oh my God, Sophia's a fat piece of shit because she ate a fucking donut when she came over here, and she ate Panda Express for lunch, and she had Starbucks this morning. Like,
you're not one of the healthiest people I know.
You're
like,
not exactly. Like, you're not concerned about that type of thing. It's like, I'm the one who's gonna be going to bed at night like being like, oh my God, like, I ate a donut, I'm gonna be so fat tomorrow, like, I'm gonna be so bloated, everybody is gonna notice I'm bloated, like, oh my God, like, everybody on Instagram is gonna, it's just like, who the fuck cares? Like, enjoy your life. Like, you're not gonna
put the work in, but enjoy the benefit. Like, enjoy the
like, do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Reap the rewards.
Exactly. Like, I'm a strong believer, and like, if it makes you happy, and if it's like what you want to do with your life, who the fuck cares about what anybody else is saying? Like,
let me ask you this then, because I'll just say personally, I have an issue with turning off the voices in my head. Right. So if there's something I believe into the core, I'll do it. But what keeps me up at night, per se, is the voices being like, you're a piece of shit, you shouldn't have done that because these 3 or 4 people in your life don't approve of it. How would you work on like silencing those voices, or like, so like, I guess for me, it's like, in my head, it's like an Eminem song, right? I know this sounds crazy. bear with me. When Eminem goes, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I feel that. I believe he doesn't give a shit. I want to know how you not just say it, but you actually learn to feel
I don't know. I think truly, like, nobody can ever not give a shit. Like, there's still definitely days that I go to bed at night and I'm like, oh, like, I'm not as skinny as I wanted to be, or like, I'm so bloated, like, or like, oh, my thighs are touched, like, just stupid things. And like, there's still definitely days that I go to bed and I like, that's all I think about, or like, oh, I was such a bitch today, and like, that person wasn't mean, they were so nice, and like, I was mean, or like, I don't think it's really like turning that off. I don't think anybody can really turn that off, or if you do, like, it's just not right. Like, I think everybody needs that little voice inside of their head, because it's your conscience, it's like, you have to second guess yourself, but like, that's just where like your morals and like your true like beliefs come in, and like, no, like, like, I did that because I truly feel that I did it for a good reason, like, I'm sorry that person feels
that's true
bad, or like that it affected those people negatively, but truly I had good intentions, and like, as long as I have good intentions about what I was trying to do, or like whatever, like, I feel like that's just how I'm like okay with what I was doing, like, I don't know, people, like, you can think that I'm doing something that's wrong, but like, I'm trying to do it with good intentions. And it's like, okay, well, like, you can go to bed thinking whatever you're thinking. I'm going to go to bed feeling like however I feel, because I truly believe that I feel like what I did was right. But like, to a certain extent, like, obviously if you're a fucking bitch and like you did something really wrong, like you should have that voice inside your head.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're absolutely right.
I don't think there's any way of turning it off. I think it's meant to be there.
Well, if I may say, like, I think the best way of turning it off is to believe wholeheartedly that you're doing the right thing in the first place.
Yeah. And like, just to do everything genuinely, like,
yeah, you're right. No,
that's what I try and do. Like, obviously I'm not perfect. Like, I don't do that every day. Like, I still talk shit. Like, I still like do things that are wrong, but like, at the end of the day, like, that's why meditation is like a really, like, I truly believe in it, because it's like, even if you're not truly meditating and like you're not really getting the same thing that everybody else is getting out of it, you still took 15, 20, 30 minutes out of your day to just sit there and reflect on like the things that you're doing and like your actions and your day and like how things are playing out. And like, to me, like that's really important, is like if you take the time to like truly look back at what you're doing, and like if you can acknowledge like, okay, yeah, like maybe I shouldn't have done that, maybe that was fucked up, like maybe if I did it a different way, you know, like it could have turned out better. Like that's kind of what you get out of meditation. It's not always like this feeling of like bliss and like whatever, you know. It's like, even if you feel like you're not getting anything out of it, it's like those 20 minutes that you took to like just sit there and like be in your thoughts, you took time to like reflect on yourself and like think about things that you're doing and like your actions and how your actions are like reflecting on other people. And like, you know, all you're doing is you're sitting there with your thoughts, nothing else, you know. And I think that's really important for people to do, because if you go every day just like going throughout your day, just whatever, you know, and you don't look back and you don't think about what you're doing and how you're reacting to people and situations, and like, you know, I think that it can just get like really like mixed up in your head, and like you just, you know, I don't know, that's just,
no, I feel that.
yeah, so you should try meditation.
The root.
Here we're back to it. No, but for real, like meditation means something different to everybody. You know, like Christians, they think that they're meditating, you know, when they pray. Okay, I don't fucking pray anymore. Like I was born and raised a
you
Catholic
can be
Christian,
spiritual but not religious.
Exactly, you know, like you can sit there for 20 minutes, no phone, no like
that's
distractions,
it for me though too. Like
no nothing. You just sit there and like for 20 minutes you just sit there and think like, you know, okay, like, oh yeah, this situation happened and like I reacted this way, or like this shitty thing happened and like, oh, I wish it wouldn't have happened, but like, you know, it's okay, like whatever, it's okay that it happened. And like you're kind of just there for yourself, and like you're using that voice in your head for positive instead of just letting it like be in the back of your head telling you all these things all day every day.
You're confronting yourself with that voice.
Exactly.
You're saying, hey, conscious, let's have a chat, let's
like,
figure this out.
Yeah, like let's have, you know, like, because you have like your ego and your, you know, like all those different things inside of your head that are happening, and like if you don't sit down and like all of them have a conversation together, things can get really mixed up, you know, like you start to like just react just because that's how you're used to reacting, you know, like that's just your routine, that's just how you react, you know. Like say you're at Target and like, you know, a customer comes up and they're like, ooh, they ask a stupid question, you're like, oh, you reply, you know, with whatever like first comes to your head. It's like, that's just like, you know, like you're not training yourself, like you're not reflecting at the end of the day, like, oh, maybe I could have, you know, given a better reaction to them, or maybe I could have given them a better answer. And then the next time it's like, then the next time you go, you're like, oh, okay, you know, like, yeah, you're like, okay, you know, like I'm more prepared, you know, like I'll be nicer, or I won't be as sarcastic, or like, you know, maybe that person is like going through something and like they didn't mean to come at me like that, you know, instead of just like thinking like, oh, you know, like they're just whatever, you know, like they're weird, or like they're stupid, or like, you know, they don't know anything about Target, or like whatever, you know, like I don't know, like, not that I'm coming at you directly, I'm just using you as an example. I understand. But yeah, like I don't know, I just think that it's really important, like even if you don't call it meditating, like if you were to call it like reflecting, you know, like, or
confession, or like whatever,
yeah, like confession, you know, like people like Christians or Catholics or whatever, they go and they tell all their sins, and then someone says you're resolved, and it's like, oh, I'm a new person, you know. It's kind of like the same concept but like different. It's like you're doing it to yourself, like you're telling yourself like it's okay, like how you reacted, it's okay, like we can do better next time.
It is kind of like a key element of like being human, to just self-reflect on who you are, what you believe, and say things like I fucked up, or like, or this is good, and then focus on those aspects to solve those.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's religious based, spiritual based, or whatever, as long as it's, like you said, as long as the intent is good, as long as you sit down and say, I want to better myself, like that's the important part.
Like obviously if you like just randomly punch somebody in the face and you were like, I meant to help them, it's like, okay, yeah, it's like not like that, you know? It's like if you did something and you were
how do you measure true good intent? Let's ask that then.
I don't know. I feel like just if you're trying to genuinely help someone, you know?
But how do you measure it? Like if I wanted to help you.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's situational. It depends.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what I'm saying, but like
you can
there's no baseline of...
I don't think so, because everybody interprets it differently, I think. You know, so that's why I'm saying like to a certain extent. You know, like you have to, like if I were to just like kick him in the balls right now,
ow,
and then he were to be like in mad pain,
I can't believe
for like an hour.
But that's the thing. Why did you kick him in the balls? Like,
well, like
you're jumping to step 2. Let's understand step 1.
Okay, maybe I was like, what if his balls itch?
What if he called you a bitch and you kicked him in the balls?
Yeah,
I would never.
But if he did, but I'm saying like
I have no reason to.
But let's just say, but
no, but like okay,
your
so
action should only
so then I would be like
some other action that was distasteful.
So okay, so he called me a bitch and I were to punch him in the face or kick him in the balls, right? Okay, at the end of the day, that's still wrong.
Elaborate.
You know, it's like, why would you like violate someone like that if you didn't want to be violated like that in the first place?
He called you a bitch.
Okay,
that doesn't make it right.
Exactly.
It hurt your feelings.
So
then there's 100 other ways to go about it, you know? Like I could call him a bitch back instead of like physically violating him, or
what if you called him a bitch
turn
back
around
and he killed himself that night?
And I could then I would kill
myself.
That's
a real thing. No, that's a real thing. People like commit suicide from like internet chats and shit. Like
they're fucking weak.
Sure, but like
shut up.
But like someone has actually killed themselves and you're like, oh, they're weak. Like, is that good intent or bad intent? You know what I'm saying? Like
me calling them weak?
Yeah.
That's ill intent. Fuck them.
How do you measure that?
I don't know.
You can't.
You can't, yeah.
But you know it's bad to say fuck those weak people.
I mean, I guess it all comes...
bad. It's not really good. It's kind of like a neutral thing. It doesn't really matter if I call them weak.
I guess it comes down to like the type of person you want to be. You know? So if you feel...
So Hitler was like, as long as I rejoin this nation.
Yes.
He's a good ass dude.
Like, that's truly what I feel like he believed. Like, he was like, I am purifying, like, not, like, fuck Hitler, bro. Like, what
Art
he did was
fucks people
fucked
up.
up.
To him, his intent was good.
But for him, yeah, his intent was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm purifying, like, I'm, you
Doing
know, like,
right
making
thing.
the nation good. Like, he felt like what he was doing was right. But, like, I feel like to get to that level, like, you have to have some sort of fucked upness in your brain. Fucked upness, add that to the dictionary.
Fucked upness.
But like, you know, but I feel like the average person, you know, like if you were to like fight with, like if you were to like call me a bitch or something, like I would assume that you would go to bed tonight and you would be like, damn, like I feel bad about calling her a bitch, you know, like
why?
Ouch. Why? You know, or like I kind of regret like jumping to those conclusions, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
I don't know. I'm stuck on the intent thing though.
I feel like it can.
Not that you guys aren't giving sufficient answers. It's like
no, but
I think you guys are giving perfectly sufficient answers.
No, but I feel like you have a point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like I think I don't know is a perfectly sufficient answer.
No, it's.
But at the same time, I'm like, how do I measure my own intent? Like, how do I be like, why would I do that thing in the first place? And then how do you measure the intent? Is reactionary an intent, right? Like.
Do you walk the old lady across the street because you want to be a hero or because you want to just help an old lady cross the street?
I wouldn't help an old lady cross the street.
No, there you go.
It's the classic example.
Piece of shit.
There you go.
I'm just kidding.
But am I a piece
But then would you go to bed tonight and be like,
damn,
fuck, I wonder if that lady crossed the street. Like, I wonder if she got hit by a car. Like, maybe I should have helped her cross the street, you know?
If I'm measuring true intent, honestly, the first step for me personally would be have you ever offered help to someone differently abled and they said they didn't want the help?
Yes.
I've done that. And I was like, okay, shit. Now because of those interactions, I won't help people unless they say, hey, would you help me cross the street? hey, would you help me carry these groceries?
Well, but that's just like you personally. Like me.
That's what I'm saying. But like, does that change the intent of things, or does that just change?
I think the key thing that you just said was the
experience.
Few words for me personally.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That's the key to unlock everything you're looking for. It's not a general thing that everybody can say, this is true intent. This is what is all that is good in the world.
It's different for everyone.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, I think
Damn,
like in everybody's brain,
saying.
It's just different.
Chill, bro. Damn. I'm stupid.
Unlock it.
I'm stupid.
He's unlocking the spirituality over here.
Yeah, he needs to meditate.
He's the slow one. I'm the quick one.
But yeah, like I just, I feel like it's different for everybody.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But I feel like for an average person, like you wouldn't, like if you were to be like, nah.
What is average?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
okay. I'm not even gonna go there. Oh my god.
There's still a way to
not even gonna go there.
Me.
Not even gonna go there. But yeah, I don't know. But like you just said, like you had past experiences that made you feel the way you feel, like
made me act the way I acted.
Yeah. But like if that was me and people were to like deny me, okay, whatever, they just didn't need my help. Those specific people, that doesn't mean that the majority of people don't need my help. Like that's not going to stop me from asking other people if they need my help to cross the street.
But I wouldn't even ask, do you need my help to cross the street? I would just ignore you until you ask for help.
So you let one differently abled person shape your entire
a few.
You let a few differently abled people shape your entire view of helping other differently abled people.
Well, differently abled people are a minority, and so when you come across them, it's a rather rare occasion. I'd say. So when you try to help someone open, like one time I tried holding open a door for someone in a wheelchair, and they're like, "Don't fucking do that. Don't pity me." And I was like, "All right, bro." Like I was like, shit, like I don't know how you like what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
I was trying to do the right thing, and all of a sudden someone's offended.
But you were actually doing like the right thing, like I would do that. And if someone were to come at me and be like, "Oh, why the fuck are you holding?"
They're just
bro,
prideful.
I'm holding the door for everybody. Like you're not special. Like like
they're
type
letting
shit.
their pride get in the way.
Exactly. That's one that's like a handful of people in like the
that's messy.
The ocean, like the ocean of people. Like why, if if you were to base all blonde people off of me and one other blonde person that you've ever met, and you're like, yeah, they're fucking dumb and they're weird and they're bitches and they fucking believe in crystals. Like, fuck all blonde people because they're probably all like that. I'm never fucking holding a door for them ever. Like,
that's racist.
Like why?
Racist.
Like why is like that's like fucked up? Like why would you do that? Like it sounds weird when you put it in like that perspective, So like why would you not hold a door for a disabled person?
I don't know.
You bitch.
So you're a bigot.
I don't know. I'm trying to solve life here, not.
So you won't help any differently abled people anymore because a few people made you have a bad time.
Because people who are differently abled yelled at me and told me not to help people who are differently abled.
No, but that's just him.
Because they thought
there's probably out of that one person, there's probably 10 disabled people who would probably be like so overjoyed that you took the time out of your day to like help them or like stand there and like wait for them to pass and like let them go in front, like that's
I guess
just
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
If you're differently abled and you watch this show or listen to this show,
if you made it this far in the podcast
and you ever encounter
across
Alec.
Wow.
Damn.
It's been fun.
Alec.
It's been real.
I'm sorry.
It's been real fun.
And you ever encounter him, he's not going to fucking help you with anything.
Yeah, he's going to walk past you and look you directly in the eye and not open the door.
He's probably going to flip you
He's
off.
He's going to close the door behind him. He's going to be like, bitch.
Fuck this person in a wheelchair. They suck.
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's how you come off.
How?
By saying that.
To you?
Sure, that's my perception of you now.
Doesn't matter what you think.
There you go.
But like, do you go to bed at night and like
all the time
and like fuck off
once a day?
But like, do you like like lay there at night and like
all the time.
God,
once a day.
I wish I could punch you in the head right now.
You can get up. There's nothing stopping you.
Right here.
I'll probably just hit you back.
I probably would. I'll make you differently able, bitch.
Fuck. And then he's not going to open the door for me.
No. He said, do it yourself.
God. No, but like seriously though, like, are you going to let one person like dictate?
Apparently.
A few people.
It scarred me. Is that when my brain comes into like...
You're weak.
Sure.
You're a bitch.
God, wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I meant
love
it.
you.
I know you turd. I know you meant it. I know you turd it. That's what I was going to say. Man.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not.
But like,
you have something to think about tonight.
Now you're going to meditate and you're going to be like, okay, like next time I'm going to fucking help disabled people.
Whether they like it or not.
Whether they yell at me or not, I'm going to fucking force them.
Let me help you.
I will push their wheelchair.
I'm a good person, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys see Rick and Morty? It's like, take my penis! Cut my penis off!
What?
Oh my god. That might be rape in this world, so be careful.
Cut my penis off?
Well, to try and give someone your penis. Unwillingly.
Given the context, sure.
Okay, I think you took it to
a disabled
level.
person, they'd be like,
Yo, if I
no
can't,
penis, no penis.
if someone doesn't want me to hold the door open for them, I couldn't imagine how they would react if I tried to give them my penis unwillingly.
Please take it.
Here's my penis. It's either this or I open the door for you. You choose. Dick or door.
These are your only options.
What are they going to do? Run away? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh.
I'm gonna piss myself.
I'll be here all day.
I'm gonna piss myself. Oh,
I love how hard I heard you hit yourself. Like, what did you do?
Like I actually might die.
I couldn't hit myself that hard if I tried. It's not
I was
programmed
hoping I
into
would
me.
just die right then and there, so I didn't have to relive that moment.
See, I could play both sides. I could play the righteous and I could play the devil.
I'm a good person, if anyone is wondering.
On paper and practice.
Yeah.
Whichever one they're looking at.
Both.
On intent.
My intent is good.
Jesus Christ. Every day we stray further from God.
Shit, I've been far
As
away.
if anyone listening to this podcast should listen to us. We just drank like a 12-pack of Stella Artois. We're like, these drunks should not be telling me how to feel about a cripple.
We should tell you how to discriminate against them.
So basically what we've learned from this is we don't open door for disabled people because they get angry. Mm-hmm. Some of them. So we don't open doors for any of them.
Put rocks on the wheelchair ramps.
Okay.
And put butter on the doors.
There you go. Turn off all elevators.
Yep. God, we are...
Everything is on the highest shelf.
Are we fucked up?
No.
Okay. As long as we go to bed, I guess, tonight, thinking that we're
not
not
going
fucked up.
to.
I'm going to have some good ass sleep.
After
sleep
this,
like a rock.
I'm going to sleep like a saint.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
I might
I'm
just die tonight.
sorry.
Perfect thoughts, Josh. You did everything great. You did it all
Everything was
right.
good today.
You're perfect. Keep it up, honey.
There you go. That's
Keep
your
it up, honey.
See, that's your meditation. Secretly, he is meditating. He just doesn't want to
He
admit it.
does.
I don't meditate. I just have no bad
He
days.
doesn't understand it. He doesn't have the
No.
capacity to need to meditate.
Will you
So I don't
meditate once for
meditate.
me?
How would you know if I did it?
I wouldn't. It would just have to be like your good
Then
graces.
yes, I'll do it for you.
Oh, fuck off.
Isn't it the worst?
Yes.
You
put up with
wouldn't
this
know.
shit every
Maybe
day.
I already did.
What if I sit there and watch you, like, meditate?
Then I probably couldn't focus.
But what if you didn't know I was watching?
I'd be concerned.
Would we be in your backyard and you'd be looking through your neighbor's camera?
Did you bug the place when I was gone twice?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be
Secretly, I've been here before.
Now I'm gonna stay up all night worrying about that.
So you're not going to go to bed tonight?
No, I told you I wouldn't.
Good.
Panicked.
Yeah. No, I just feel like you should try it. Please.
Please.
I'm begging you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck.
Go vegan.
Oh, God.
No.
That went from 0 to
That's
100.
too hard.
I would never be
I like
vegan.
cheese too much. I drink milk often.
That goes back to like you only live once. Why the fuck would you deprive yourself of meat and cheese
So good.
and ice cream like the good tasting ice
cream.
It's
like the premium source of protein.
Just because like you feel bad for animals.
They're cute.
Like, okay.
I'd eat
fuck them kids.
I feel bad for some animals.
Fuck them animals.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I'd eat the fuck out of my
He
dog.
said. No, I call it quits there. But
would
like,
you eat
if they're at the end of their life,
Josh, would you eat his dick and everything?
Yeah, cook it up.
You'd eat his dick.
Sure.
You eat doggy dick.
You wouldn't get
He's
much.
one of those.
It's pretty small.
You'd be like doggy biceps, doggy booty, doggy dick, doggy.
Nothing goes to waste.
Doggy liver. That's what I'm saying. Because like you can't say you'd eat an animal if you're like, oh, just like the breast and thighs that like people always eat. You gotta eat the whole fucking. I want heart. I want the fucking brain.
Yeah.
You eat the ball sack.
What is the weirdest thing you've eaten?
Do you want her name or?
I hate you. No, like, okay, let me rephrase this question. What is the weirdest part of an animal that you've eaten?
Probably
a vagina. Sorry.
Probably. I mean, it's super conventional, but like a cow tongue.
I've had.
What does it taste like?
That's really tough, chewy.
I know it was only with Raul the time we went to the taco truck. It was like
brains.
Cabeza. It was.
Oh,
It was had a brain or something from a cow.
No, I couldn't do that.
It was good. It was just a little chewy, but it wasn't bad.
I'm like the type of person, if you were to tell me like, oh yeah, you're eating brain,
and it's like French fries,
it would be like projectile vomit.
Really?
But if no one tells you.
But if you were, like if you weren't to tell me, and I would be like, okay, like I would try it.
2 days later,
and then you were to tell me like you ate brain, I probably would vomit.
Even though it's
already
out of your system,
I would be like, yeah, it's bad.
That's
like,
crazy.
I think about it, and then I'm like, oh no.
One time I stepped in dog shit and I threw up.
Right there, it happened. Right on the bottom of the stairs.
Are you serious?
100%. Him is my witness.
Yeah.
I've got a super weak stomach. So.
Okay, remind me to never let my dogs shit in front of you.
He's super sensitive to smells.
It's not like it's not that the shit grosses me out. It's that I didn't see it and I stepped in it.
Yeah.
And I smelt it and then like my brain like hyper focuses
I was just like,
on it.
Yeah,
my brain
I
like
get
hyper
that.
focuses
I
on
get
it
that.
and it's like you just like need to throw up and my body's like
Okay, fine.
approved.
Yeah. That's like what happens to me with like me putting things like in my mouth. Like fuck.
Grow up.
No. It's funny.
But like food, like food items. Like if you were to like feed me like eyeball or something.
What's like your guilty pleasure as far as like food? You say like fuck it, eat a donut, fuck it, eat some cake. What's your favorite thing? Like
fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I am like a whore for fried chicken.
Yeah.
Like any fried chicken, like I'll eat it.
You don't have like a favorite place, just like
it sounds weird,
Popeyes.
but like honestly, like Ralph's chicken, it like hits different. Like like their fried chicken that they put, like it's really good. I honestly haven't eaten fried chicken in a minute. I mean, like chicken nuggets. Like I'm a fan, big fan. That's like my go-to. Yeah, fried chicken for sure. Anything chicken and fried.
Okay.
Chicken's
that's my go-to.
Versatile.
Yeah. I do like KFC. I've tried it once. I've tried KFC once, surprisingly.
KFC
and it was pretty
I
good.
love how you're like, I like KFC. Tried it once.
It was pretty good. Like I would go back.
Just a thing of chicken?
I think like Popeyes wasn't that good. Like I feel like it's hyped up like a lot. And it's really not like as good as people say it is.
That's the issue with anything, right? Because it's like people are gonna have their preferences.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say this is better than this.
Yeah.
When realistically it does come down to like, for me personally again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I worked at Subway, there was a Popeyes right across the street. And I like tried their chicken a couple times and it was like average. Like it was nothing like,
Tastes
oh my
like
god,
fast food chicken.
Yeah, it was just like chicken. But KFC is fucking dank.
Okay.
I would eat KFC again for sure.
KFC's too oily.
I love that you've had it once and you're like, I would do it again.
I would. But definitely my go-to is like the Ralph's fried chicken. It's something about it. It's like so good and oily and just like so bad for you.
You love the greasiness of it, like the
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I know
me
I
too,
know
dude.
all that shit is there, but I will never go into a grocery store and walk over to like
Get a rotisserie chicken.
yeah.
Really?
I'll never go over
Oh my
there.
God, I smell it,
order
and my
the
nose is just
food.
like, yes, fried chicken. I smell
Like
it.
I know it's there. I know that's a thing people do, but I'll never do it. I'll never
Interesting.
partake.
Interesting.
I'd rather make my own.
I have yet to make my own fried chicken,
It's really good.
and I really want to experiment because I've been kind of like making more food at home lately. I think that's definitely like my next like thing. I want to invest in a fryer. I'm very big on fried food.
Get an air fryer. I air fried some fried chicken, and it was
You got some
literally
chicken we can air fry?
Literally no. But
Wait, but like
you literally
it was
cannot
like
tell the fucking difference.
raw chicken, and then you put it in batter.
Yes, I battered
then
it.
you
I
air
dredged
fried it.
it.
That's it.
It was all seasoned, air
Interesting.
fried. Literally couldn't tell the fucking difference.
really good.
Interesting. Yeah, like that could work. I just hear that, like I hear from a lot of people that air fryers aren't like the same. Obviously, it's not the same as like frying it in oil.
No, yeah.
But I feel
Oil
like it's
tastes
healthier.
different than hot air.
Yeah. Well, it's probably it should be healthier if it's
Yeah.
It is. It's
just,
basically
Yeah.
just a countertop
Yeah.
oven that works twice as fast and is more efficient.
Yeah. It's possible.
Confirmed.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
possible.
On
I,
that note, I'm going to take a pee again.
I need to get
Okay.
chicken nuggets for it. That's my next thing. It's my next move.
You haven't had chicken nuggets in it yet?
Nah. That's like the last thing.
For sure. Is this the longest podcast we've ever done?
It is. It's dethroned Raul. It's not
It's
a longest
dethroned
show.
Raul. I was gonna say
So he's gonna fucking see this and come back on and be like, I gotta beat it.
he's not gonna give a shit.
We're gonna be sitting
This
here.
it has gone by super fast. I thought we'd ended
it's-
earlier, but
It's had its lulls and pickup moments.
you want to go eat and drink more, or
I want to fucking eat something.
I want to eat too.
I don't want to drink anything.
Let's get some food.
I'm just disappointed I took the water bottle out. It wasn't even cold.
Yeah, it sucks. You get in this whenever you want. Well, let's ask her again if she's.
I'm gonna wait until she comes back so she
yeah.
can sign out.
4 hours, man. That is a fucking record for sure.
That's a lot of fucking talking about nothing.
I don't know.
It's 9.
Is it really?
It's 9:20.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
And from one thing to the next, like, dude, shit, you already know.
Raul edited the video.
You know, yesterday I was happy as fuck, and then today I'm just like, are you ever just having a good day?
The knob only works going one way.
It only goes one way.
I still have yet to realize that.
It's okay. You used it twice. Well, last chance. Plug anything
Yeah.
you support or are passionate
I
about.
think we're going to wrap this one up
No.
pretty soon.
I think I've talked about everything I'm passionate about.
I think we've said everything there is to be said.
I think so.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this 4-hour-long show. Appreciate anyone who's made it this far. If you skipped around, you're cheated, and
understand.
I don't count you.
I understand.
My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
My name is Sophia.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Goodbye.